one, and we're going.
And welcome back to Oasis Valley Mysteries, the Spiteful Sands arc. Previously, the group had split up to check on multiple things. One group went to the Riverless Casino following a lead from Itzel on a previous hideout of the Hell Coyotes. And while there, you did, in fact, discover that the Hell Coyotes were there, or at least two of them were, and being hunted down by the Kasha. Managing to deal with it and prevent the casino riverboat from burning down. It fled after Tommy managed to pilfer a grenade, and uh, other group oh managed to track down more information about the Dr. Porter, the leak on source of the Epiphany, and seemingly heavily involved with the shootout. Reconnoitering, discussing a bit, the group managed to, well, even though it was getting very late, Fred and Olivia went for a drink. Um, Carlos went to do a little more research, and group split up. Hanzo, Winifred, and Tommy actually managed to track down and locate the safe house that Dr. Porter was hiding in, and through a distraction with the armadillo powers, managed to subdue him without much struggle, and discovering some epiphany, hidden in the little building he was hiding out in. You managed you were talking to him and convinced, well, you were delivering an ultimatum basically saying, hey, right, and we'll take you in safely, or, we'll just leave you to the tiger, as Hanzo basically put it. The While that was going on, Connor had a rather interesting dream where he was able to witness basically the state of the other curse
Called
before
me a
being
punk
woken
ass
up
bitch.
before being woken up by a concerned Itzel as you were uh, standing guard, helping her keep watch over the Baker, Texas. And that's where we left off. So, uh, Connor, when I start with you, uh, Itzel last time was kind of shaking your shoulder, looks a little concerned. He's like, "You okay? You were kind of tossing and turning, and you're like soaked in sweat."
It is just a dream. Ugh.
I think it
It'll
was
be
like,
fine. I just need like coffee to wake up a bit.
oh, yeah, there's some in the break room down there. Um, and she goes, she kind of seems a little uncertain with like your well being, but she doesn't know that you that well, so she's not going to press.
Fair. He's just gonna stand up and head towards the break room. Use it as a convenient excuse to get out of, sight and earshot. And he's just kind of like, he's gonna head to the break room, look around. Anyone in there?
No, it's pretty late, so most of the people that
Oh,
are working are, you know, in their labs or out tending to the nocturnal animals.
right. He's gonna pour himself a little like paper cup of coffee or whatever they got in there.
Oh
Yeah,
god,
He's,
a paper cup of coffee. Good lord.
it's more like a little styrofoam cup.
yeah,
Better.
I don't fucking know. I don't drink coffee. Anyways, I only play characters in it. Okay, sorry. He's gonna sit down and put it like in front of him and just look like he's taking a break, and he's gonna use this as a cover for basically trying to have an internal conversation of doing the mental equivalent of hitting his microphone a few times. Just hello, you in there? Could use a chat if you're.
Oh, I'm always around.
Yeah, I figured, but you're not always paying attention because They're boring sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
It doesn't make that noise, but it's still like you get the sense of like a non-committal. Okay, yeah, sure.
yeah, fair. It was like, so I know you told me not to mess with the other curse because things go funky, but it just called me a punk ass bitch. Is there any way to just twist the dagger, piss in its eye socket, and dance on its grave?
Yeah, it did seem to be a little
Because
tutorial.
I hadn't done a whole lot to it, and it's acted out this much. I'm assuming there's more we could do. Like, for example,
did.
could we like add a little bit of something to the bell and fuck with the ritual and make it just really screw it over?
I mean, that could possibly be doable.
Hmm.
That's an interesting route.
I'm assuming it's trying to affect it directly would just cause chaos.
Oh yes, rebound of that would be interesting to say the least.
I had some considerations of like
Layering curses can be detrimental to more than just the one being cursed.
yeah, I figured like create a magical disease that causes you to vomit souls or something.
That'd be interesting.
Say we add that to the bell.
So you want it to vomit up those that it has already consumed?
Yes, basically leave it powerless.
From what we've seen and what felt during that little threat display, those it's consumed aren't there anymore, but we can make it sick. Same effect, just those it's eaten, they're already ash.
Shame. But what about the other one it's clinging on to? Could we not
Sorry, was
make
that?
it cough that? What about the other soul it's clinging? Could we not
Oh,
make
they
it
are
cough that up?
interlinked. That would take much bigger magic. Or
Shame.
as far as
Not even if we say hijack the ritual and changed some things?
there's possibilities. It's just without you being able to get hands on and perform a little vivisection, autopsy, whatever, it's hard to say how intertwined, but I would say they're, at the moment, they are almost as intertwined as we are, my friend.
Hmm. So damn near impossible. Gotcha. Hmm. Well, if nothing else, we could at least boost the ritual and maybe make it harder for it to come back.
I would not enjoy that. I like this. It wants to be spiteful. It doesn't know what spite is.
No, it doesn't. All right, well,
And
Yeah.
you get a. It's rare that you feel this vibe from your little friend. Well, first time you can really call it that. It's first time where it seems satisfied to work with you.
at best, it's a co-conspirator.
Yes, yes.
It's all right. Well, if you think of any other ways to really screw it over, tell me. I'm happy to watch this thing burn, metaphorically.
And silent, but you get the vibe that whatever wheels are turning, they are turning.
You just gotta give a nod at that, then just look down at the coffee and just pour it down the drain. Does nothing to him. just a smoke screen, so people don't ask, why are you sitting there with your eyes closed? Anyways.
So we could switch to someone else, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty
Unless
much.
there's anything you want to do.
No, that's pretty much it. He's just looking for an opportunity and getting that train a chugging.
Good. Fred and Olivia, last we left off with you, you were still at the bar, but I think there was plans to go to the diner. So we'll just say that, Carlos, you were sitting off in like a booth, doing a little more research when the bell dings, and looking up, you don't see, which, predictably, like a vampire, because that's mainly your night clientele that come in, but walking in is Olivia and Fred.
Well, there are you two. Where you been?
We went to, get a drink, essentially.
Yeah. Owed Fred one for what he did with the the bone cat.
I hit someone of a car.
Yeah. So I bought him a drink.
One of the vampire customers kind of like looks over, glances at that, but then looks back to their newspaper.
My life's really interesting.
It's okay. They got hit by a truck afterwards, so yeah.
You don't even know the heck, Fred.
Fred. You can't be saying like you've run people over in the diner. Fred, I'm not the biggest fan of cops, but I can't stop cops from coming in.
Relax. Nobody got hit by a car.
I think the idea that people would believe me is honestly pretty laughable.
I mean, I took you out to a drink, so what does that say about me?
So what's going on over here?
Oh, I've got plans and plans and plans.
Yeah, what are
Doing
these plans?
studying.
Adding some new animatronics?
Yes. That's this notepad over here, and he fishes out another one, and it's like, it says like, add T-Rex, ? Plushy chupacabras under gift shop ideas.
The night waitress walks over, name tag says Sierra, and she hands you two menus, and she kind of nods to Carlos and walks off. Figures she doesn't really need to give the spiel if they're talking to the boss.
Yeah.
Yep. Carlos will just nod and be like, yep, so I've just been getting everything ready because this is going to be a big event. No small parlor tricks like I've done. It's been a hot while since I've done something this big. So I want to be ready.
TT.
I was looking at my notes. I was like, "What?"
The night waitress. The night waitress. Is she hot?
Roll a charm check.
No.
Roll a charm check.
I'm not doing any charming. I'm asking a question.
I mean,
God,
probably.
Is the night waitress hot? What?
I mean, sure.
You heard it here. The answer's probably. Anyways, moving on. What a weird topic to bring up, Nora.
Fuck you. Before she walks away, Olivia rips off a piece. Well, are the menu like disposable menus or?
No, they're old school.
Laminated.
Plastic. Okay. She grabs a napkin and jots down her number and hands it to the night waitress.
The night waitress. You gotta say it with appropriate oomph. The night.
Okay, to the night waitress.
She smiles politely and tucks it into her pocket, and
as soon as
like-
she's out of earshot, Carlos is gonna lean in. It's like, you are far from the first person to try. It's never going to work. I'm going to win. I'm going to win the tip jar in the back full of bets.
Look, I ain't doing this for a bet. I'm doing it because she's hot.
And she's not gonna call you.
I mean, that's fine. It's up to her.
She hasn't called a single number since she started working here.
That's fine. That's up to her.
Okay, this
She has
feels
the
like it's
option.
besides the point. Let's get back to the plot,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, that's
You easily distracted Nellies.
Look, you're in my business. I gotta make sure that people are behaving
Slightly
appropriately to my
buzzed.
stuff.
Buzzed Fred gets serious.
But yeah, so
But
I've
Olivia apparently gives the girls her number.
Is it true? Pretty much. It sits on top of one of the many refrigerators that hold. It's probably one of the True Blood ones. But yes, anywho, but going off of our very mysterious night waitress,
Whose name I randomly generated the last session.
yes, there is no back. Like, if you want to know more about her later, Olivia, I'll tell you more about her later. But like,
Back on topic. Carlos.
we got stuff to do.
Focus. Come on.
Says the person who went to the bar.
Yeah, because we're waiting.
Yeah, and I'm good to go whenever. I'm waiting on Hanzo to come back.
He
And
has,
Fred.
most,
I
like,
sincerely
come on.
apologize out of character. I think I passed out for like 5 minutes.
Oh no!
We gotta wait for.
Okay.
Good. They're just giving Olivia great grief for hitting on the waitress.
Yeah, she did. Good
Everyone's,
night, waitress.
everyone's pointing at her. We know what you are.
But so yeah, Hanzo. I mean Hanzo, you're not, they were talking about you. You're not here.
Yes.
Yeah, so when Hanzo and Fred and Tommy maybe come back, I say maybe because Tommy's one of those guys where you turn around and he does just kind of fucking vanish.
Yeah.
We'll get everything organized. We'll find a place. We'll take our long-term house guest out of your work, use him as bait, and go from there.
Mm-hmm.
I got some plans. I got some plans, got some things, and while I was studying, I found a specific new tune that should help us out.
Oh.
I would play it, but I'm not sealing something away when there's nothing to seal away.
Would it, like, lose its power if you just play it randomly?
Have you ever been trapped by a magic spell before?
No. Well, I
It's
have
not
asking
fun.
you a question, Carlos.
It's not fun because when you start a sealing process, it starts and it seals something away. That can be you. It's how some wizards cheat death.
Your eyes. What if I punched you in the jaw before it was over?
Oh, when the magic player starts, it doesn't matter if my jaw's going or not.
Oh, good to know.
Wow.
And when it and I'm not threatening to seal you away. I'm just saying if I start playing it, the ritual starts. And there's a good chance that Fred will be stuck there forever.
What?
Fred gets sealed into the salt shaker.
Just imagine
No.
Fred's over there munching on pretzels or something. What?
Slow charge. What?
I suppose it's probably just a lateral move.
Well, no, because then you couldn't see your kids. And depending on how long you would be sealed away for, you may never see your kids again. And I know that's important to you.
Well, if my wife has her way, that might happen regardless.
And,
Ooh.
well, she can only stop them till they're adults.
That's true.
Yeah, and you are a good guy, Fred.
Now, I'm aiming to seal this thing away for like as long as physically possible. So I'm talking like if I accidentally put you in the salt shaker, you would be there until the glass in the salt shaker erodes away. That could be like 1,000 years. Glass takes like forever to break down.
Shouldn't you just break it and wouldn't that let him out?
Then you have a bunch of tiny Freds.
You have a bunch. It depends.
Ever see Army of Darkness?
Because like if the point of the we're putting the oh god, what the cat?
So,
Sorry,
the kasha,
wait.
yes.
Thank you. We're putting the
kasha.
kasha in something. It's
Yeah.
The point is we're putting it in something that won't break, and we're hiding it because like if it breaks, it gets out.
Yes. But in a theoretical situation with the kasha, you need the bone to bind it. You need natural material for a natural spirit. Fred has been eating artificial food his entire life. So you can use an artificial object, say a salt grain or glass.
Shouldn't he still also just be freed if you broke it?
Well, it depends if you seal him in the glass, maybe. But like if you seal him in the salt, have you ever tried to break salt?
I'm beginning to
It's a
grow really
weird
uncomfortable with this conversation.
This is a weird conversation, yeah.
Seal him in a Happy Meal toy from the 80s.
Why do we keep talking about sealing me away?
I don't know.
Olivia
Why
started.
are we talking about stealing him away?
We're not. I'm doing hypotheticals on why I can't play the magic, and then you started getting angry, and the fist stormed on the table, and I didn't trust you to not punch me across the table.
My God, that's
I got
not what
angry?
happened. I feel like you're in a different conversation than I am, right, Fred?
I feel like I'm in a different conversation than all of you, and it keeps going about you guys trying to seal me away in crystals.
Well, I mean, if
it's-
you want Fred to live forever, putting him in a salt shaker.
I
would
don't want to
an
be in a
option
fucking crystal.
because it's full of preservatives.
Look, okay.
I almost wish my computer
We're
had
not-
stayed worked for the rest of this night. After that.
But anywho's it. Excuse me.
No.
I burped.
Bad.
So in theory, if I did the sealing spell without the necessary components, it would go different than it would with the ritual and the words and everything that is prescribed for the one we're doing. It's about intent, and the more rules you put into it, the easier it is to break a rule to free a spirit. That's how it goes. So if I just start playing the audio and I just start doing mumbo jumbo,
You know, I didn't ask you to. This didn't start with me asking you to play it. I was asking what it was.
oh, it's a spell. It's mad.
Oh my God, no, you idiot!
What a shit.
Meanwhile,
That's
I'm
all right, I'm the
having a
keeper, I can say stuff.
serious conversation.
I'm
But
done.
yes.
I'm done with this conversation.
So-
where is everybody?
I would just like some assurances that you guys aren't purposely trying to seal me away as some sort
No.
of
I just took you
long,
out to-
lingering
You are-
resentment, because this conversation has now given me the impression that maybe
Right.
you are.
Carlos?
No,
I'm
Fred, I
Carlos.
just took you out to a drink and we had a good time. I'm not.
That
let-
could easily be buttering me up. I'm growing very paranoid.
Fred, look at me. Look at me dead in the eyes. You saved the lives of the few kids I care about on this planet, nearly sacrificing yourself to a chupacabra in the process. I would never seal you away.
Yeah, and you fucking rammed your car into the kasha, and then
Okay.
that kasha into a fucking truck. I don't think.
All right, I'm gonna
think
trust
get
you, but
how
if
cool that is.
you guys end up sealing me away, I want to be kind of pissed off about it. And I have
mean,
some
you
strong
should
words
be.
for you.
You should be, but we're not.
Yes,
Alright.
you have the very important job of holding this very interesting bell.
Yeah, this reminds me. Does he need to like stand still, or can he like back away if the Kasha gets close?
No, he has to stay right in the spot, otherwise it doesn't work.
Good boy.
That's okay. I'm real good at standing still.
Yeah, I'm just worried about the Kasha getting.
I got high marks for it in high school.
It's one of the reasons cited for the divorce too. Just, I'm sorry that was so mean.
It's
Life has
Fred. It
just come
shouldn't
to a
be mean,
standstill.
unfortunately.
Just yawned. It was the cutest thing.
This what?
Sorry. My lizard just yawned. It was the cutest thing.
Aw.
Oh, yeah.
Aw.
Oh.
Lizard yawns are so cute.
The lights went out, and so both Quinn and Quark are waking up, and then Quinn just yawned, and it was really cute. She opened her mouth so wide.
Aw.
The contrast between the cuteness of a gecko yawning and a python yawning.
That's the contrast of having your bones in your skull fused and not having them fused.
Yeah. Like that Golem game. There's no way his face is a solid mass. But we're not talking about that hoax here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That convention exists.
So eventually, Annie and Hanzo will walk in through the door, and then we should have everybody and Tommy. But like once again,
Oh, and what about Connor?
oh fuck, Connor.
Probably give me a ring or something.
You don't have a
Fuck.
cell phone.
No, but I'm at the
He-
fucking.
you- Yeah,
The
I knew
one
he
place.
was staying behind a.
yeah, about the.
I just wanna. I'm buzzed slightly. I don't know what you guys have been doing since then.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna grab
Yeah, the
Connor when we
sanctuary.
go.
There we go.
We're gonna grab Connor when we go grab the sacrifice.
All right.
That is
Yeah, I
the
don't-
that is what it says in the ritual. We're not literally sacrificing him, but
Yeah, 'cause
sacrifice
I would-
sounds better than the bait.
I would not be okay with that, especially after I've like gone out of my way to get this man to work with us. He has gotten more kindness than he deserves, but I still gave him my word, so
Yeah, and Tommy,
Which means the rest of us could violate it because it's you made that promise. The rest of us, on the other hand,
I will be pissed if you do.
we're not sacrificing Connor. We're sacrificing the one
No,
guy.
we're not sacrificing anybody. We're for the words of the ritual. There's got to be him there, but we're not fucking sacrificing anybody.
Well, I'm kind of weird that you're just denying that out loud, but okay.
Fred, come on.
We'll say that in this time you've placed an order, and Sierra will eventually walk up with him, put some food down. Late night, post bar food.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Sierra.
Fuck.
What was her name?
Sierra.
Sierra,
Oh,
the
yeah.
night waitress. Weeknights at 7 p.m. on the WB.
That would be a WB show, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm noting her name in my notes now.
That's fine. Look, she didn't. When she like Carl's gonna lean in. It's like, look, when she came into town, she didn't have a whole lot of backstory. I'm 90% sure she's a vampire. I didn't see her. I like just enough to make me doubt it. She will occasionally eat human food like it's nothing.
Okay, out of character. You can't just make a character a vampire because you want them to be a vampire.
E.T.
I mean,
Yeah, you said it.
You-
all right, so I'll just come out and say it then. I'll just come out and say it then. I literally texted both Gray and Will going, oh, funny thing is, TT actually guessed she is a vampire.
Yeah, I was trying to cover for you, actually.
Sorry.
No, he brought it up because I mentioned it to him too. No, so yes.
Okay.
She hasn't,
so-
she's not,
I've never seen her
hasn't
actually drink
admitted it.
blood. I've never actually seen her drink any blood. Fair. And that doesn't necessarily mean she's not a vampire. but literally her shift hours change with the sunlight, and she behaves a lot like Annie at times when Annie is doing her vampire cravings.
I've never dated a vampire, but that could be fun. If she goes for it, that's up to her.
She also has no backstory beyond like 2 months ago, so have fun with that.
As far as you know, I don't have backstory before when this game started.
You're the local who came here. You like heckled me on like my first week of owning the junk out west.
Olivia
Yeah,
wants the
because
smoke.
you caused problems for some animals. It's my job.
No, I didn't. You just came and said it's haunted.
What? I did
Okay,
not.
okay, hold on. We're going to the sheet. We're going to the sheet.
No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're doing important shit right now. We can deal with that later.
No, it's on my character sheet.
We're doing it live!
Literally.
Where are the bonds? Olivia, yeah, you told me about some weird Satan cow bullshit. I don't know what that was about.
Oh, right, I did. I told you it's been a while since we started this game, all right?
Yeah, it's been literally over a year now.
Yeah. I told you a story about the cow.
You told me a story about a devil. You told me a story about a devil cow, and I still don't believe it.
I mean,
we've run into at least one supernatural creature at this point.
Two, I don't think the living heart thing counts as a normal creature.
That one's a weird to the ground.
I'll keep for a moment here. There actually is. This is one of the original things for Redemption. It was a cattle grazing town before they found out. It's like, oh, these mountains are actually mineral rich. We'll expand. Devil cow wouldn't be out of place historically.
And I'm sure the cows that ate all the grass that grows upon the superorganism would turn out totally normal.
Absolutely. Nothing strange
the valley is very lush for a desert valley. I mean, it's why it's called the Oasis Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They say the groundwater here hits different.
Superorganism at all.
But yeah, Satan
Anyway.
cow.
Oh, well, as far as you know, all the drinking water in town is piped from the reservoir further up the river.
Good to know.
As far as we know.
Anyway, where are Winnie and Hanzo?
They're on their way after dealing with drug dealers.
We had
I don't know.
cornered a man in a shed, and Hanzo was, like, interrogating him.
That was in character.
I was munching a cracker, so that I was going to kind of ruin my perfect scene transition time, so I was going to be like, well, speaking of, Hanzo and Winifred. I know, my stomach was getting rumbly, so I was eating a Ritz, but that was apparently the mistake.
My tummy was making the rumblies that only hands could satisfy.
Calm down, biter. So Hanzo and Winifred. Winifred, I think you were still just a armadillo.
I'm a coyote outside right now.
Oh yeah, coyote. Yeah, you went for scouting. Okay. So Hanzo, you delivered an ultimatum to this man, basically telling him he can. If you want to deliver it again.
I don't remember exactly what I told him, but I basically did threaten, you're going to cooperate with me and tell me literally everything, or threatening death and damnation at the hands of a fucking cat.
Yeah, that was basically it. And he sighed very deeply, put his face in his hands, and just kind of... I need you to do a manipulate someone. That's actually the perfect thing.
Oh boy! Charm!
And I don't know if I should give you the advantage because that was a fairly convincing argument. Yeah, roll 3, take the higher 2.
Okay. That's hold on. Where is it? That's a 9. So they'll do it if only I do
You do
something for them right now to show that I
to
beat
show
it.
that you mean it. Yeah. So, yeah, what do you do to show that you mean it?
To me, that I'm not fucking playing around.
Yeah, basically.
Cool. I tilt the gun slightly askew, so the bullet whizzes by his head.
So you just fire off a round, and he jumps back, just kind of stares at you wild-eyed, and he goes, "Fuck, you really are one of Dara's." And well, he wouldn't say Dara, he'd say McLean. He's not that intimate. He goes, "Fucking fine. Just," he's like holding up his hands, like, "Please don't fucking shoot me," kind of body language.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes, "Where do you want me to start?"
From the beginning.
Like I said, I met Ginger. I think I was honestly targeted by her. I sometimes go to a bar after work. Sometimes I'm still wearing my coat, my lab coat. But you know, and he goes, it's not even like a biker bar. I thought she was just a normal woman. And then what was this bar? He goes, it was just like the Dry Spider, which you don't realize was actually the bar that Olivia and Fred went to last time, but it's just one of the random bars in town. And he's like, I think she realized that I worked for Potent, and she started talking to me. He kind of seems like grimace. He goes, thought she was hitting on me at first, but then she got more invested in asking me what I did, and once she learned that I worked with, you know, biosynthesis, making compounds, and my job. That's when she got really interested, and by that point, she had. She brought me to talk to Felix. Felix, at that time, was actually very nice. He seemed very smarter than a biker should be, and he kind of shrugs. It's like, I don't know. He made things sound promising. Like, they had the network. Hell Coyotes were all over the Southwest, up in California, and all the way into, eastern Texas. And it's just like, they made it sound like viable. I had the experience. I knew how to make it. Wasn't hard to dig up the recipe and make it. And he kind of like falters, and he's just like, who was it that? Hold on, I need to look up something. Which one of them did it? Oh yeah, no, he goes, oh, sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. Just a second. He goes, Soda interned at Pluripotent briefly, and I could tell he was, had an aptitude for chemistry, and he was talking about, getting into it, but they don't pay us much doing what we do for how much wealth this company makes. It was too tempting. It was something I was literally making this stuff in a closet in my apartment. It's child's play.
He nods. He understands the paychecks. It's just the whole several children dead thing.
And he goes, Soda was a smart kid. I thought this would get both of us, decent amount of savings. He could, maybe do something, afford to go to college to do it. He was always talking about him and his brother always struggling, and it's just as he's continuing to talk about them, you can actually tell there's like some real regret in realizing that what he's brought, what got brought to them. But he's just like, so, he brought in his, it's like I was
His
talking
brother,
to him.
his
We got,
friends.
yeah, he brought in his brother and his friends and his girlfriend, or his brother's girlfriend. I think that's it. Oh no, his girlfriend. Kendra is Soda's girlfriend. And he goes, they were just kids who needed, a little leg up, and I thought that giving them some work, these bright kids, that they could actually, work on something instead of just milling about the mall. And I don't know. I should have said no when Felix said he wanted to meet the whole team. I knew I should have said no.
Hanzo nods understandingly. He's not trying to take a huge superior moral position over him. It just shit went to hell, and now it's my job to fix it.
Yeah. Shit went to hell, and someone's got to take responsibility for it.
Mm-hmm.
Although, using the phrase "went to hell" might be a little too literal right now.
Yes, none of us
Although he didn't
could've-
make that joke. That's the keeper making that joke.
Yep. None of them could have predicted how doing a drug deal right next to a fucking demon.
Yeah.
This is why
And
you check your demon
so-
maps.
This is why you gotta watch those dare campaigns, Gotta pay attention.
Oh god, I fucking hate Dare. No, I grew up in the heyday of Dare, and they were just so obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But-
they were bad.
Anyways, so he's like, so we went to the meeting, and you kind of, I guess you know the rest.
Mm-hmm. Something I'm curious about.
I
Is
booked
how-
it as soon as the guns fire started. I'd try to get out of there.
Speaking of which, something I'm curious about is how someone like you in chemicals managed to get your hands on what should be a theoretical weapon.
Kind of frowns at that, and he goes, meaning,
The bone gun?
kind of clams up at that and diverts his eyes.
That now is not the time to get cold feet when you just confessed you roped a bunch of kids into an illegal drug ring.
The gun is gone. It basically fell apart. I didn't know it was a one-time fire and then just breaks apart. Must be like
Must have still been in testing then.
proprietary protection thing. Maybe. It's just kind of comes up again and goes, I really shouldn't be talking about this. They said this would be. I was given the gun.
Interesting.
I don't know who they were. It was. And he kind of like sighs and then climbs up again, and he's like, as if internally weighing the debate of like, I'm already fucked. What more can I say? And then he goes, I got the gun from the same person who gave me the recipe. I don't know their name. They never really asked for anything in return. They just said that. First note said that they were tired of pluripotent's monopoly, and that things had a deserve to be, shared.
Well, it appears this goes beyond you.
I never had a face-to-face meeting with anybody.
I see.
Cat, I really don't need smacking noises from you licking yourself on the computer, please.
There's an old man in my room eating chili.
What?
It's what it sounds like when you have a long-furred cat grooming itself in the middle of the night. It's like, it sounds like I have a man in my room, an old man in my room eating chili.
Posts that live in my brain.
Yep. So,
Sometimes while babysitting cats, I'll be typing, and I hear that because they're doing it like right next to my leg, and I look down at them as like, "Can you stop?"
or, relocate, have some shame.
No.
Yeah, it's like they relocate like a few feet away, not that far, and just blem, blem.
Yeah, it's like, well, they can't deny you their presence.
It's like, I thought
So,
we were boys.
So, anything else for this guy at the moment? He seems to be like more talking about the source. He's much more reluctant to talk about that than even the shootout.
I believe I've wrung as much as I want out of this man.
Gotten all the juice.
Like a fucking
This
wet
whole time,
rat.
Tommy's just been standing there, guard style, eating the man's sandwich he found last time.
Yeah, I believe I've wrung this man like a dirty washcloth.
Oh, God.
Whatever secrets he has left, the others will find
Phrases
out.
you can smell.
It's all the
In wrong
sweat.
job.
Lick yourself. Just stop making smacking noises. I can hear you through my headphones. I'm sorry, but I know that's being
Recording.
picked up.
We don't hear it on our end,
We don't.
but listening to the video, it's gotta be obvious, I think.
I'm gonna listen to it months later. I'm gonna hear. Gross. Get out of here. I'm sorry.
I mean, at least it wasn't a cat trying to hack up a hairball, because that's just the worst noise. Or it becomes a range of horrible noises they can make when doing that. But anyways, moving on. Oh God, Kasha hairball.
No.
Kasha fireball.
Yeah, that's just a fireball.
Oh, that's in my head now.
That's how it shoots it. Just
No.
Yeah, the horror and the mystique of the creature comes to a stop when it just like.
Yeah. It's like. You okay there? Okay.
And then it gives you 3rd-degree burns.
Oh God.
Okay. God. It's only a matter of time once I made this a cat monster, so.
Yeah, this was inevitable.
So, he kind of, once you stop questioning, he kind of falls silent, sort of just looking at his feet because he's sitting on the cot, just.
Well, I will make note of your cooperation. Can I trust you
Which-
to?
The cat or the lizard?
I was talking to the man.
No. Let's get this in chat. Anyways, continue.
Well,
Oh, the cat also is yawning. Everything's yawning.
That's what's
Sorry,
worse.
I'm distracting from the game. Sorry.
Sorry. I was just trying to make it go up so I couldn't see it anymore. I'm just gonna.
Here, I'll get it off the screen for you.
I got it.
You sure? I
got
can
it.
help.
I got it.
Sure? Okay.
You're gonna post another yawning animal. I'm gonna have to kick your ass. I have yawned more often in this past 5 minutes trying to be quiet. My jaw has cracked.
mm-hmm. So Hanzo nods solemnly. Well, I will make note of your cooperation, he says with some gesturing of the gun.
If he was looking up, he'd probably flinch a little bit at that gesturing, but
Mm-hmm.
it seems a little bit lost in thought, perhaps.
At least we can rule out any malicious intent.
Not against those kids, no.
Well,
May feel a little bit of malicious intent against Felix, but
yes, I
I
don't
get the
imagine
feeling
it
he
was your
doesn't.
idea to gun down a bunch of kids in order to make a profit.
of course not. With them helping me, we could have produced so much more than just me working on my own or training one of those idiots.
That is the nature of greed. Well, pardon the pun, but shoot oneself in the foot.
And Tommy kind of pipes up, goes, "So where are we stashing him?"
I'm going to be calling the detective. He can pick him up.
So, that would require trekking back to your car, which, yeah, parked at the farmer's house.
Well, that is a good point. I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, because this
So-
is not as far out in the desert as the Dr. Apostu's lab was, but
That's
it was
right.
still like a 15-minute hike to get out here.
That's right. Yeah, and that redact that then. It's like, well, that means you'll be coming with us. I'll be handing you over to the detective's custody. Although, it may be better to keep you around just in case the Kasha does target you. That way we're able to actually keep you safe.
And when you say you're taking him to the cops, he almost seems relieved. He goes, "Okay, fine." Almost with the outspoken implication of him going, "As long as you're not taking me back to Pluripotent." I almost said Spindle.
I mean, very different, but both pretty shady.
All right. Hope you have your hiking shoes on.
And he goes, "They're the only pair I have. I left with basically nothing out of my place." Yeah, you kind of saw that besides what looks to be like a small suitcase, like a not even like a large suitcase, more like a carry-on sized one. That's off to the side, and you see some clothes that's open. There's like some clothes and stuff. So didn't really bring much with him.
Mm-hmm.
He was a little panicked.
Understandably so. Yeah, how bad is it when being given over to the cops is the better option?
You and Winifred and Tommy can start marching him back to the car and back to town.
It is late at night, but at least since we're not trying to be sneaky, we'll make better time going back.
Yeah. There were because you actually did talk to the detective last time. He did put out basically like an APB on the guy. So there were more cops driving around last night, or still the same night, but last session, and he actually did say that he wanted to meet up tomorrow in the morning to exchange intel and some other, because he said he's found some interesting stuff.
Indeed, and I plan to keep that appointment, but there are other things to do tonight.
I just want to make the note that while Tommy and Hanzo are marching this guy, Winifred's circling around them just out of, like, their eyes being able to see her in coyote form, just making sure that nothing's going to sneak up on him.
Okay.
Yeah, in case of surprise cat.
Also, I'm sure I'm freaking that guy out because every once in a while you'll see her eyes shine.
He's probably still
occasionally he
wondering
does
about the
jump.
fucking armadillo.
Yeah.
He'll never know.
That will haunt him for the rest of his days.
But yeah, there are a few times where he'll be like walking and then just glance to the side and see that and just like, ugh. Ugh, what the fuck is that?
Just a coyote.
There's a horrible coyote laugh when you say that.
Yeah, they're
She's not too bad when you get to know her.
kind of gives you this like confused and somewhat concerned look. But the moon's fairly full, so there's like enough light that, you humans are able to march through no problem.
As opposed to a game of D&D where everybody has dark vision.
Nobody sees in color.
I can't see shit, Captain.
So, nothing really jumps out at you in the desert. Things actually kind of scurry away, especially with the coyote being around. So, no other coyotes nearby, or at least too close. Winifred, you could probably smell some on the wind, probably hear some in the distance, but not that many close by. And yeah, you get back to your car, no problem.
He's gonna call up the detective then.
And because this is late, like maybe getting close to maybe 2:30 in the morning.
Oh, hopefully he's committed to the fucking bit.
It rings for a while, and then like almost before it goes to the answering machine, you hear the phone like rattle on the receiver, and then just like yes, sorry, Detective Bentley. It
It's
sounds like he
Hanzo.
had maybe fallen asleep at his desk.
This is Hanzo. I've arrested the pluripotent leak.
Oh, this Damien Porter. Yes. Wow. Okay, so you've done a citizen's arrest.
I would like to transfer custody.
Yes, excellent. I'm
You don't have to
trying
do it
think, like, what would
yourself.
the protocol be? He goes, yeah, just
Flag
I
down
already
any
have
one of your
a-
boys.
yeah, and we already have a notice out for him, so they know that he has a warrant for his arrest and association with the as a suspect. Okay, yeah. Just try to flag down any of the patrolmen and you know, tell them, they're concerned, just tell them to call it into me and I'll explain this.
Hmm.
Very probably not, police procedure for the 90s, but whatever. It's a small town, smallish town.
Strange circumstances demand strange solutions.
Yep. Although, he's like, all right, just, I guess, good work. And then, you hear, he didn't mean to mumble this so loudly, but he's kind of tired. He's like, oh, great, I'm working with a vigilante.
No, I'm worse. I'm a corpo.
And he's just like, oh. And you kind of get the feeling he's like, oh, embarrassed that you heard him mutter that. Because I know I've said some things that I thought I was mostly speaking to myself when I was really tired. It's like, oh, whoops.
Mm-hmm.
But
carry on, detective.
yes, you too. And he kind of like, it's like, oh, damn it. Oh, why are you still awake? My wife's gonna kill me. And he just like hangs up. So, yeah, be too hard to go flag down a patrol car. At first, they seem a little incredulous. Well, actually, how do you? I guess we could just speed it up and say that they've.
I mean, what would you
They've been
do?
alerted.
It's like 2:00 in the morning, and it's probably a goose chase. You want to go to bed, and then suddenly this like 6'1" fucking corporate ghoul shows up with your fucking wanted.
Suspect. Yeah. So it's just like, okay, and they put him in the car, handcuff him, read the rights, and they're like, well, I'll take him in. Be booked in the cell, so I guess check in with Detective Bentley.
Already
And
did.
it's because it's like two patrolmen per car. They kind of look at each other like, this is clearly not protocol, but they're just like, all right, if things go bad, it's going to be on Detective Bentley's head.
Hanzo says it himself. Unusual circumstances, gentlemen.
And they kind of nod, and they go, well, tracking down those fuckers that killed those kids.
That's what I intend to do.
Good. And they go and get in their car and drive off. Lights flashing, no siren going, but just want to get back to the station. So you have recovered Dr. Damien Micah Porter.
Winifred's suddenly standing right next to you, Hanzo, and she goes, well, that was pretty good work.
Yep. Falling back into old habits, I guess.
We're gonna go beat
I'm
the shit
tired.
out of a cat.
Yeah. Fortunately, there's something else I wanted to do before we got around to that.
What's that?
wanted to talk to the parents, at least for the soda kid. I don't know. It's just maybe with all this magic bullshit and his soul being at risk. I don't know. Wouldn't make a damn lick of sense trying to explain it to them.
It's hard when the supernatural bubbles into normal people's lives. Not many people really understand. But I do understand, from my perspective, I think all you can do for those families is to get rid of the thing.
Yeah.
I know
There's just-
something of you.
I don't know if there's any guarantee that stopping this thing is going to save that kid. Well, for all I know, it might drag him down with it.
The best thing I could tell you would be to ask Carlos what the odds are about that. She gestures to herself. Despite all appearances, I'm not actually that good with magic.
Yeah, he's the actual spellcasting, the actual spell slinger.
Don't let him know you know that. He tries very hard to keep it secret.
Does he?
Yes, Carlos has nearly set you on fire twice, Olivia.
Yeah, you're doing a bad job keeping it a secret.
He's trying
You
to,
know,
and Winifred knows that he's
Hanzo's
trying
not. Yeah, Hanzo's not the one to have loose lips.
Yeah, imagine loose lips.
It'd be easier if his little Walkman didn't just turn on by itself.
We should probably go meet back up with the others.
Let's see what they found.
Meow.
Are you being railed at?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go get a snack and I'm gonna go apparently feed my cats. I'll be
Are you going to light yourself on fire?
I was
You
like,
turn into a sandstorm?
wait, did the general show up?
It's too high to be the general.
Yeah.
I'm like, ball.
Oh, so that's what he does when he's not on screen.
It's like that's not the sound of a cat. That's the sound of a man.
He just pads over to Arizona for a day trip.
We don't need any more. We don't need any more feral cats running around our desert.
That's why the general has shown up to take them back home. It's a recruitment drive.
The cat army needs you.
Hal's only a baby.
So, Hanzo, since you're driving, you're taking the three of you to
Yep.
Carlos's?
Yep.
Okay. So, we'll just say Tommy's sticking around, and Shady shows up. We can say he disappeared and reappeared. Anyways, so, yeah. It's fairly late. By this point, it is probably after 3. You know, having to find a cop, transfer him, and then drive over. Yeah, it's probably closer to 3.
3 a.m.?
Yeah, like, this day has been going on for a while.
Damn.
Yeah, so
Olivia
people
is
are probably
drinking
getting
coffee.
really tired.
Olivia is fucking pounding back coffee.
I'm just gonna say,
Fred
your
fell asleep on his feet.
keeper-wise, probably not gonna get to the Kasha this in-game night. Oh god. Or that.
Yeah, but I'm waiting for everybody to get back. We can't fall asleep inside the diner.
You can fall asleep inside the
I
diner. I own the
absolutely
diner.
fell
Wait.
asleep inside the diner.
I
I
am the
tried.
DM. On.
I have to do some driving.
I'm sorry, I couldn't tarnish the
Wait,
penis
no, I'm a
trading
night guard. I wouldn't be asleep. I'd be fine at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Olivia's the one like Olivia's like I spent many a night I spent many nights studying overnight during college. I'll be fine. She says,
How long
drinking her like third cup of coffee.
And how's that going for you?
So
I mean, I prefer to be asleep, but fuck, I've done this before.
Go take
the
a nap.
bell,
I have to drive, Carlos.
the door dings, and in walks the trio.
Oh, finally, good lord. If they hadn't shown up in the next like 10 minutes, I was gonna go actively try and flirt with the night waitress.
The night waitress.
Dr.
Weekday
Porter
nights on
has-
the WB.
Dr. Porter's been detained.
Son of a
Dr.
fucker.
Porter.
Who?
Weekday nights on the WB.
The source of the.
That's the one.
Epiphanies.
Oh.
He seemed pretty genuinely upset about the kids being, and I believed him.
Olivia's makes a face. Shouldn't have fucking been selling drugs to kids.
He's with the cops now.
Where he fucking belongs. Give you
Hanzo
anything
just
useful?
kind of. Hanzo rubs the bridge of his nose. Nothing I couldn't put together myself, except for one thing.
What's that?
Was it?
This leak doesn't end with him.
I mean, I figured as much.
But that's the problem for another day. I'm tired.
Like,
And
tired,
since
you
you've-
want to...
Well, I was gonna say, since Winifred has been with him the entire car ride, he seemed to be like going on the whole adrenaline of doing his job, but having done the whole interrogation thing, he seems to have like exhausted himself.
She's gonna,
Kind of like
she's gonna reach out
you,
and touch your arm and go, "Hey, man. Carlos has got some cots in the back, and they're not bad."
Yeah, I probably could get most of y'all. Some of y'all would have to crash on the couch.
We also have some beds at the preserve.
I don't think he's gonna make it that far. She like,
And I'm running on like 3 cups of coffee. I can drive if you need to.
Speaking from
No.
both in-character and out-of-character experience,
Mhm.
She's a young
Yeah.
adult who has gone through college. She's done this before. She works with animals as well. She's done plenty of overnight.
having done the 2 a.m. drive to Wisconsin on 3 cups of coffee and 2 Red Bulls,
Well, yeah, but you're not Olivia.
Problem with the caffeine high is the crash.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
crash when she gets there. Wait
it's
a minute.
never pleasant.
or you can sleep
Yeah,
on a
I'm one
cot.
of those.
I mean, that
I'm
means
one
I
of
have to
those
leave
people with
Connor alone at the
ADHD brain,
preserve.
so caffeine doesn't affect me.
That means I have to leave Connor alone at the preserve, and I'm not convinced he won't pick up some kind of dead disease.
I won't do anything to him.
I mean, I'm
Probably
not worried
already
about
got
what it would do to him.
Another to add to my collection.
Exactly. I'm worried about what you do to everyone else.
Picking it up like a
Oh
Pokemon.
god, adult Connor is the Vincent. No, not Vincent Price. What the fuck is wrong with me? God, continue. Christopher Lee from Gremlins 2. Ah, yes, my smallpox arrived. Oh, I already have the flu. Whatever diseases he said.
All I can imagine is Connor going, Ebola, I choose you.
Ebola, I choose you.
Ebola, Ebola,
Oh god.
Oh god.
Ebola! Use thunder smack. Ebola.
It's like
okay.
it's like that post talking about. It's like imagine if animals in the real life worked like Pokemon. It's like you're in the doctor for stomach pains, and they put the stethoscope to your stomach, and they just hear a small little tapeworm.
Tapeworm.
I hate that. That's terrible.
Hilarious.
Hanzo, without much else, just walks towards the back where the cots are. He
Yep.
seems to, like, not just physically, but mentally.
Olivia sees him go, she frowns a little. Give me a minute, and she follows after him.
Oh, excuse me.
He is sitting down and laying on the cot as you enter the room.
Hey. I know we don't see eye to eye on a lot of stuff, but, like, you alright?
Tired.
Come on. Sure, there's more.
He's still staring up at the ceiling. This is something he does not want to discuss.
Look, if you just hold this in, it's going to come out at a bad time. And I'd rather nip those hijinks in the bud, if I'm being honest.
Yes, but I also need my strength for tomorrow.
You're talking about something for like a minute or two, so it'll take all your strength for tomorrow.
He turns over.
Alright, fine.
As Olivia walks out, Carlos comes out like, "Hey, I got some extra blankets and pillows if you need them."
I'm just gonna, if we're resting here, I'm gonna do as well, but I'm gonna give a call to the reserve and make sure everything's alright. Mind if I use your phone?
If they answer you,
They'll answer. There's people there overnight.
yeah. It's also
Well-
3 a.m.
Yeah, there's
I
a
think I
special
know my
time.
place, Carlos.
There is a very special time in the early eves of the morning for 1 minute only, when all the other humans have dozed off, that one of the animals will pick up the phone instead.
Exactly. I've been trying to catch him. Olivia goes and just does she does a call to make sure everyone's still alright there. Nothing. Make sure Carlos is Connor's alright. Our captive is alright. Our guest is alright. Everything.
So, you call up the preserve. I'm back, by the way.
Yeah.
And it rings for a few times, and then all of a sudden, it clicks, and you just hear this raucous, like, noise, just shouting, and it sounds almost like gunfire for a second, and then you just hear this, get back, and then you hear this lazy voice go, yeah,
What the fuck is happening
and then
over there?
you hear this like clicking. It's like as the volume gets lower, it's like, oh, sorry, forgot, mute button's not working.
What's going? Who is this?
And it's just they tell you it's just a random intern or person working there. It's like, sorry, I was watching a movie, got a little loud,
Oh,
mute buttons, and like, it's just me fucking with you, Olivia.
fucker!
So,
There's a
but
gang
yeah,
out there who shot
The
at me
cat's
already.
free!
they transfer Cotter. The phone that's right outside the panic room rings.
Just like, oh, what the fuck? You're just gonna go over to the phone and go, hello?
Hey, Connor.
And it's Olivia.
Oh,
They
yeah.
transferred the call.
Yeah.
I was wondering what you guys were getting up to. It's been a while.
Yeah. We. Hanzo, Winifred, and Tommy caught the pluripotent guy who was making the stuff. Why am I using the euphemism? They caught the guy who was making the epiphany.
Yeah, that's good.
And he turned him in. We're going to sleep here. Feel free to sleep there. There's beds.
I was asleep, then I woke up. Speaking of which, I have new information. Remember when I kind of like, remember when I in the desert, I kind of like sensed the Kasha, it like got on its wavelength or whatever.
Yeah.
So apparently it noticed.
Right.
It sent me a happy little nightmare where it was being a right fucking prick and basically taunting me and showing that the soul of the kid was still there.
Oh.
So yeah, there's a thing.
I mean, that's
Anything we do to the Kasha is done to the kid, and I got the impression that it's pretty tightly bonded to him. On that note, ask Carlos if he knows how to rip a soul out of something.
there's a beat. Fuck.
You just, the silence. He just continued. Goes, look, it's basically calling me a punk ass bitch. I kind of want to rip its soul out.
I mean, yeah, like, can you? I'm new to this shit. Can you even fucking do that?
Me? Probably not. That's why I was asking if. That's why I was asking if Carlos can.
Yeah, now Olivia's the one aggressively rubbing her temple. All right. Well, they're asleep. We're falling asleep.
We'll get to it in the morning. I'll see if I can't learn anything more.
Have you slept?
Yes, technically.
Sleep. Go to sleep, Connor.
All right. If it fucks with me again, I'm kicking you in the dick. And if I die tomorrow, you know why.
Wait, what did you say?
Fuck's me again, I'm kicking you in the dick.
He says if it tries that again, I'm kicking it in the dick. And if I'm dead tomorrow, you know why.
It was important that you clarified, or else she would have ended this conversation differently.
Okay. What did you think I said?
Yeah, you said you kick her in the dick.
No.
That's what it sounded like, and that's what else heard.
I was taking it as he was gonna kick the Kasha in the dick, and I'm like,
Yeah,
you want to
yeah.
get your foot on fire?
Sorry if the voice gets slurred.
You are talking nasally, so.
I'm literally holding my breath to do it.
Oh, jeez. Get some sleep first. Let me know if you can call the diner. And you have the radio. I don't know if it'll reach this far.
He just checks his phone and goes, "Oh, that's the diner's number." I didn't know its number. Just
Well,
go to eat there.
if anything
and
happens, if ask for Sierra. She's the night waitress. She can come. She can go wake up one of us if you need it, if need be.
I've seen her before. She's neat.
Yeah, she's hot.
The night waitress.
Just cocks an eyebrow at that. Just cocks an eyebrow at that. It's like, oh, another victim I see.
What? Victim? What the fuck does that mean?
He's been going to the diner long enough to know the stories.
I mean, if it goes nowhere, it goes nowhere.
Oh, that's good. Last thing she needs is another trail of broken hearts.
Oh my god.
She tells
Everyone
great
else
stories, by the
watching
way.
it, Everyone who didn't give the girl her number is acting like this is a big deal.
It's like, look, as long as you get too invested.
I mean, if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
It's better than most people. I've seen some idiots just fall apart.
What?
She like, give her the numbers, shoot the shot, think through all that, and she just ignores them for the next 4 days.
She's a
hilarious.
man-eater.
It just goes. It's hilarious, sad but hilarious.
Good for her. I think I'm done with this conversation. It's late.
Everyone's having fun making backstory for this character.
I'm just
Look,
Everyone's
it is-
like, oh
it
no,
is-
Olivia, you're gonna get your heart broken, blah blah. It's like, whatever.
gonna get your heart broken. It's like, oh, I don't care. I go, oh, that's good.
She's a
Yeah,
man-eater.
that's
I'm no man.
Good for her.
Look, Sierra's the newest waitress we have, and in the 3 months we've had at least 20 people's hearts broken here. I don't know where they're coming from. We're not that big of a town, but like,
She's the star of a WB show. That's how it's
we're a small-
happening.
We're a desert town that like is a little remote.
It's like at this
People
point,
here,
it's
people here be thirsty.
at this point, it's just a badge of honor to be turned down by her.
Every time it's like, man, she broke up with me. The guy listening is like, I'm built different though.
Anyway, get some rest. Get some rest, Connor. Let me know if you need anything. If anything happens.
Yeah, will do. Yeah, you guys collect me sometime. It's a nice
Yeah, we're
place,
gonna
but I
come in
don't
the
want to live.
morning.
It's
We're
a nice
gonna-
place, but I don't want to live here.
Fuck, I'd live there if I could.
As Connor says this, he's like looking out the window and animals making eye contact with him.
Yeah.
an emu has in fact gotten loose.
He just
What's
You
the
know,
name?
Connor
What's the
just
name
says
that I have
whines.
My rivalry with
He's not afraid of the
I
animals.
think it was Jeremiah. I think it
Jeremiah.
was Jeremiah the emu.
Yeah, Jeremiah the emu was just looking at you through a window.
He just squints at it and is like, you look like a candidate for bird flu. Better back off, Sonny.
Listen, that thing's constitution is so bad, I think it would give it back to you.
You can try. Bird flu sucks.
Anyway, hanging your phone, going to sleep, giving Sierra an extra wink on the way to bed.
You shouldn't
Hangs
flirt
up
with her.
phone.
She's doing her job. Wait till she's in her off hours. No, actually, I'm up. I'm a night guard. Remember?
Oh right, yeah. Well,
Yeah. Fuck you.
you should... okay, no,
Wow.
In a friendly way. We're playful. I'm sorry, that came off wrong.
okay. No, you're fine. It's 3 a.m. I'm kind of buzzed. I'm running on 3 cups of coffee.
Yeah, you should probably get some nappies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a little
I'm
sleepy
gonna
sleep.
Wake up at like
Little nappy
11
nap.
a.m. just like, ugh.
As
I know
this conversation is going on, Carlos puts an order in for Olivia very briefly.
an order.
Yep. And delivered to you is the knock 'em out plate. It is eggs and cheese and every kind of topping and thick food that if you eat, you instantly get full and pass out in the seat.
Hell yeah.
And Carlos brings it to you in person and goes, "Here, you'll sleep."
Oh, hell yeah.
Is it good for me?
Hello.
You'll sleep.
It's every thick homemade food that makes you feel
Man,
overly full.
Kelly, we need to go to the local diner. I need eggs again.
When I wake up, first thing I do, eggs.
Yeah,
Every
that's
morning
what
to
I was
help
like.
me get large.
She's eating and going to fuck to sleep.
It's like extra thick biscuits and gravy with
Gray,
eggs.
Gray. Don't make me hungry for something I can't have right now, please.
The hunger.
Denny's pancakes.
Gray,
Got bacon, crispy and sizzling.
You guys are mean.
Yes.
Yes.
Fine. Fine.
Meat that melts off the bone.
Chamomile tea. But yeah, Carlos is probably going to stay up for a couple hours, then go up to his super secret little room. Up above the ride. He's going to crash there for the evening. After he makes sure, like, Fred's got a place to crash, and Hanzo's okay, and Olivia's going to be alright.
Yeah, she's fine.
Why is Nora posting pollen attacks?
Because they were harassing me with foods I can't have.
Joke's on you, I'm not looking at
yeah.
chat.
Joke's on you, I'm not allergic to pollen.
Sounds like someone is.
Yeah.
Yeah, CT, he was one of the people doing it.
Joke's on you, though, I'm not looking at chat.
Yeah.
Winifred's actually going to try to sleep.
Just imagine falling over and going, ugh.
Last time I looked in there, Gollum was saying penis. I don't want to look at that.
You're the one who posted it. Anyways, so taking the reins back before I start crunching on this celery on the mic.
My crunches don't come through.
So everyone's turning in.
Yep.
Time is passing. Carlos's impromptu hostel is open for business. It basically is turning into a hostel now.
Okay, you say hostel. What it is that there are like 2 cots in the back room. The pool table's pushed a little bit to the side, and someone's on the couch, and he's in his bed in the unnamed upstairs.
Okay, the rewind of that is distressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. People wake up. Not sure who would be the first to wake up.
Not me.
Although, Winifred and all the Freds, they'd probably be needing to get to bed.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah. Winifred, what are you going to do
She was going to
when
actually.
sunrise comes?
She was actually going to try to sleep like halfway through the night so she could wake up and be, effective if they had to do this during the daytime hours. Otherwise, she's just like passed out somewhere in the back of the diner.
All out back behind the ride, whose hours aren't until like 10 a.m. to give people time
Hanging
to
from a blacked out, hanging upside down inside a closet.
Carlos is just gonna fucking open a closet.
Somebody pokes their head into the ride, and he's just in the rafters.
It's like, oh, that's so that animatronic's so believable. Turns around, floats off. Wow.
Yeah, that's basically what
I
she's
hated
doing.
you said wow, Zero killed me.
So
Wow.
yeah, yeah, you're in a diner, so there's plenty of delicious, delectable diner food. Breakfast, hash, sausages,
Stop!
chalupa cabras.
Ah, chalupa cabra.
Connor would probably get up. Well, I'm not fucking Connor. I'm Carlos.
The other C word.
The other C word. Carlos will probably get up fairly early and then just get in the jalopy to go pick up the victim and Connor. That's what the Connor came.
Lucky I'm asleep.
Guess we'll pull up in the jalopy to the preserve and be like, "Hi, I'm here for Connor. I don't have his last name, but he's the dude who sounds like he's got 10 plagues in his body." I'm assuming I'm stuck at like a front gate with an intercom.
And it goes, "Oh, right. You're part of Olivia's pack. Yep, come on in."
Olivia's. That is not our name. That is just driving fit.
It is now.
Yeah, you recognize it. It was the voice of George, who's kind of like the manager of the preserve.
Yes.
So yeah, he recognizes your voice, at the very least. Although you probably might know him on a name basis at least. But yeah, so Connor, no other dreams thankfully when you slept, unless besides whatever normal dreams Connor would have.
Technicolor Hellscape, gotcha.
No invasive dreams at the moment.
Just homegrown nightmares.
But fever dreams are just as normal.
Oh, jeez.
Alright, he's up, moving around, and I'm assuming somebody comes and yells at him that there's a dumbass at the gate to see him.
Boy, stop calling me a dumbass to my face. I'm here to pick you up.
He just waves, "Hey, Carlos.
Hey,
Did Olivia talk to you about the thing?"
no, but we're going to have a car drive that we can talk about the thing.
Oh, this is not going to give us a lot of time. Okay, though.
To be fair, Olivia. To be like at this point, they're like walking and talking in cars. Like, well, to be fair, Olivia, when she called you, was on like 3 cups of coffee, and that was about it. So I knocked her out.
Okay. So, you remember when I kind of vibed with the thing and got on its wavelength? Whatever hippie mumbo jumbo you like?
Yeah.
So, it kind of worked both ways. It decided to send me a nightmare and be a right prick.
Sounds about right.
So, it's both intelligent and spiteful. And it showed off the fact that it had the kid's soul. Like, it's still there, still him.
Yeah.
It's connected to him. But I get the feeling that it's not impossible to separate them. So, do you know a way to yeet a soul out of a body? Or he wouldn't use yeet. That is modern vernacular.
Yes, that is modern vernacular. I'm looking something else.
You know what isn't
Eject,
modern vernacular, but is very related to it? Yoink.
What? Oh, yeah. True. So, do you know how to yank a soul out of something?
Yeah. It's been a long while, and I have some room for that in the ritual planned. But I haven't. I haven't done it since my Basel days.
The what days?
I was in Switzerland for a while. The town of Basel's known for one thing and one thing only. Don't tell Hanzo.
Chocolate?
LSD.
Oh.
Really easy to throw a soul out of a body when it's high as balls.
Don't know how that'll work on a skeleton.
Oh, no, we do it the old-fashioned way. Rough, tough, save what you can. But
So, I was thinking with, like, items of power directly connected to it and whatnot, maybe that could boost the chances of saving the kid's soul before we just seal this thing into a button or something.
Yep. We've got the bell.
And if you needed to be disoriented, I could probably take care of that.
No, I can. Well, if it needs to be disoriented, yes. I have a guy I'll call when I get back to give us a little bit of extra help.
Don't think LSD will work on it.
No, I don't think LSD will work on it. You need to have an digestive system, but peyote you just have to burn, and then everyone gets a fun time.
I think that might be worse.
It's fine. People have been using drugs and magical rituals since caveman days. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Are you experienced with drugged up rituals?
You just have
Peyote is ingested, by the way.
That's fair. It's been a while.
You gotta eat it or drink it.
So I figured we can go get some peyote, throw it in its mouth, or I can take some peyote while I'm doing the ritual.
Like,
You could throw a bunch of weed at it.
I don't think that affected. It has the
I don't remember
words.
the exact wording of it, but man, I remember this joke saying, so, "For as long as humankind has been conscious, we've been finding ways to fix that."
That's
With
pretty
the
good.
whole since caveman days.
I mean, they do say beer was one of the things that led to settlements and civilization.
Yep.
Connor's just gonna sign it. Look, if you need help with the ritual, I could probably do something to make it a little more impactful.
Fair. I don't need drugs necessarily.
I don't need drugs.
That will be helpful. Because anything to help pin it down. We have a bell as a spell for casting focus. Our wonderful favorite boy Fred will be holding the bell.
Interesting.
I'm a A+ bell holder.
Bells have also been connected to.
We are
Bells
here.
have also been connected to plague and fighting the plague in some cases.
Yeah. So
Like I said, items of power and all that.
yeah. So I have to be doing the magic. Fred's gonna hold the bell. Hanzo and Tommy are gonna be speaking the Japanese rituals to help on that end of it. And I'm assuming at this point they're like driving in the jalopy. It's like, so everybody else is going to be on keep off of it from eating us in the process.
Actually, I thought you guys were just kind of tucked away into a more private area of the preserve because still got Texas and Itzel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh right, I forgot.
Yeah. Still gotta
So
get
it's just we're just like out walking towards them from wherever the building is. Like, so yeah.
Alright. Well, like I said, I think I have a couple ways to improve the ritual, or at least fuck it up harder.
Awesome. It's never fun if there's not a sense of, oh no, we're all going to fuck up and die.
I didn't mean fuck up the ritual, I meant fuck up the thing. The Kasha.
Oh, excuse me.
I said what I said.
Yeah.
Okay, so we go over to Itzel.
And so you walk
And she's
away.
kind of standing there
Right.
yawning.
No, I was gonna say
Hey.
I was gonna do something stupid. Carry on.
Etzel's there, her usual chair. She's kind of yawning. Past her bedtime by this point.
Yep. Carlos is going to show up. It's like, I have one last request of you that I can reasonably ask. And he hands her a length of rope. Tie him up.
Just his hands, or you want him hogtied? Please say
Hog.
hogtied.
Hogtied. I gotta leave him in the trunk for a little while. I need him hogtied.
Jesus Christ!
It's just like,
I mean,
finally.
if you want to roast him.
Uh,
She's like, well, if you want to roast him,
I'm gonna park him in the
and she'll
shade.
take the rope and.
Well, I'm gonna park in the.
You're
Look,
terrible!
look. I'm just gonna leave him in the trunk for 15 minutes while I go wake up the rest of the crew. We're gonna go do the ritual, and at that point, he won't be in the truck. He'll be frying in the sun.
Terrible.
Oh no, we should have sympathy for the bastard.
He did stab your
No, no,
coworkers.
This guy, but he's still, You're still fucking hog tying him and throwing him in a fucking trunk.
Yep.
Or
Yeah. Your
barring
coworker's
Tommy,
gonna
After
have
he
some
has,
questions
in
for you,
fact-
Olivia.
What?
Workers are gonna have some questions for you later.
So-
No.
barring Tommy, we have some of the most amoral members of the party here.
She gave her word, you asshole.
We're not hurting him.
You're
Yeah, we're
It's not hurting him,
So
It is by definition hurting him.
really.
It's just a
So-
little. It's just a little surprise BDSM. It's fine.
so after a few minutes,
it doesn't
so
take
she
her
can-
long to tie him up.
You
She
could
brings
just
him-
ask.
I don't know how she's carrying him out, but he's gonna be like, "So hey, bud. Now, normally I would knock you unconscious for this, but the lady who gave you the nice stuff, even when you really kind of didn't deserve it, is gonna be mad at me for this anyway. So please don't cause stuff. We're gonna try to wrap this all up today. And if everything goes right, you should be 100% okay. But after stabbing somebody, you're not going in my trunk, not hogtied."
And once he hears what you have planned, he starts struggling. It's like, no, fuck this. And he's like, trying to
Okay,
struggle,
okay,
but it's all
okay.
good.
Would you be okay and would you be better in the back seat than the trunk? I'd say I'd turn on the AC, but
Yeah.
that piece of I'd turn on the
yeah.
AC, but that thing doesn't have shit.
He kind of like from the ground where he's been hogtied, he's like looking up at you like incredulously, like, is this your first summer in Arizona? Yeah, you don't put someone in the trunk unless you plan to kill him. Cruel.
You would be in the trunk for approximately, like, he looks down at it, 30-ish minutes, maybe?
Dude. And he's just like, dude, that's enough to small compact place like that. Seen it happen.
Yeah,
You
even
die quick.
Connor kind of looks and goes, 30 minutes is way too long.
Fine, we'll put him in the back seat. Sorry, I'm not.
Like,
Like, I've only been in town for 3 years and I've never thrown somebody in my trunk before.
we could just pop the trunk and toss him.
No!
We could just pop the trunk and toss him under a tree and then get everyone else.
Okay.
Oh my
'Cause we do not have the musculature
Lion
between
bait.
us to. We
Lion
do not
bait.
have the musculature between us to pull him.
Absolutely fair. We get him loaded up, pull up into the shade so Itzel doesn't burn. And Carlos is like, so I don't know if you want to help us duke it out with the Kasha thing. You're welcome to, but it's daytime, so.
Was that cat thing from the bar
Yeah.
when we got him?
Yeah, it turns out it's something that's been running around here on and off for as long as people have been in this valley.
Looks like it.
So yeah, it's like oh yeah, I don't think anyone stole them. And Carlos is gonna lean in. And, yeah, the thing you unleashed. Yeah, no, you shouldn't have fucked with that cactus, man. It's A grade, going to drag you to hell shit.
And he seems both worried and also still like confused by this whole situation. He's just a biker. He was not used to this weird supernatural stuff.
Oh, don't worry. The confusion you're feeling happens every time I talk to somebody new who's not aware beyond the basics of what the public knows of this reality. It's fine. So we're gonna go grab everybody else, and then we're gonna set up, and all you have to do is sit there and look pretty. As best as you can, Texas. Simple enough, right? Hello?
Well,
I had muted myself. I was like continuing on the whole conversation. Whoops. She's like, when you said you just have to sit there and be pretty, it's like, yeah, not gonna be able to help you on that one. And as she starts to protest, like it's like, hey, she like bends down and puts a bandana gag around his head.
Okie dokie, Artichoke. So you just gotta sit there and look pretty, and we'll make sure you don't die. Otherwise, Olivia will kill all of us again.
And he's
And-
just kind of glowering from the ground, but he's not really able to protest. This man has been through some shit. A lot of it because of Connor.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why Connor's here. It's like, okay.
Ear infection, glaucoma.
He doesn't
Okay.
necessarily know it's Connor's fault. though.
There was a point where Connor, you didn't notice it because it was when you had fallen asleep, and looked out the window. It's like, oh, Itzel's not there. Saw you, and it was like, fuck it, I'm going back to sleep.
So he does know he's the cause of it in some manner.
He knows there's correlation.
Because you've been there both times when things have gotten weird,
Fair.
or when he's suddenly gotten sick.
So
Yeah,
Carlos,
you are also.
sounds like
Well,
you're
he thinks
dying.
that you're just so infectious because you're the one who's always coughing around and like just sounds like death, and then he's starting to get sick. He's just like, I need to stay away from that guy.
Stay away from the plague victim. Yeah, I get you.
Typhoid Larry.
Amazing.
Typhoid. I love that. That's good. Typhoid Larry.
That might have been a joke I heard somewhere, but anyways,
Okay. So we get him in the trunk. Not the trunk, the back seat.
Oh,
Back seat. That was me.
Hi,
That was a Grayson thing, not a Carlos thing.
This was a. Never mind. Oh no, just keep going.
and Itzel's like,
If you want to ride,
she found an umbrella somewhere. It's like a little dusty, and she's
Oh.
like,
Carlos keeps one in the trunk in case if Fanny needs a ride.
okay. She's like, I'm gonna leave my bike here. I don't like riding it during the day.
Absolutely fair. So let's go get everybody at the diner.
And
Hanzo
she's
should be
actually
waiting.
and like when she's like getting in the car, she sits in the back seat to make sure to keep an eye on Texas, and she's actually talking. She's like, not that and you actually see she's like her riding gear, like because she had showed up in it. If she was wearing her helmet, no skin would be showing, but she's just like, it's still, even with the visor and the helmet, it's just sometimes way too bright during the day to drive,
Oh yeah, no,
especially in the morning.
absolutely fair. I personally try not to drive between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m.
Sometimes that's kind of what you have to do here, like speaking from personal real life experience.
Yeah.
So, pile in and start heading back to Carlos's. Damn it.
We are going to the diner, and along the way, Carlos is explaining to Itzel and Texas. It's like, okay, so revenge spirit. This is going to be a stretch for both of you, I understand, but revenge spirit is what's been chasing you. It's why it doesn't follow any conventional sets of rules because it looks at a book of rules and laughs. However, there are other rules it listens to, so we have a thing planned. Itzel, you're going to be on team defense. Because when we start this thing to make the big scary fire cat go away, it's not going to like that. So we will need people to throw things like punches, furniture,
And
pieces of foliage.
Itzel's like, I mean, I could do that. And she
Yep.
goes, now, do we have to do this before or after this thing's taken care of, Felix? Just asking for personal reference.
Wow.
So generally speaking, what we're doing with, and by Felix, you mean Texas or is?
No, Felix,
No, Felix
the
is
leader.
Yeah.
He's the one who left me behind to get pinched.
Oh, right.
And the one who killed the security guard in the first place.
Yeah, that fucker who like booby trapped and had a grenade almost blow out Tommy's leg. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it now, and that's where you come in, Texas, because it's after the Hellcats. not that there's many Hellcats left. Hell Coyotes. Sorry, Hellcats are another group.
Hellcats, what we're fighting.
But so at this point, we don't have to deal with them before, and then if you want to go on your own personal vendetta afterwards, I'm in the boat of a favor's a favor. So you do what you need to at that point, Itzel. Also, hi, Shady.
Hey, guys, I am so sorry. I passed the fuck out a few hours ago.
No, it's fine.
I'm
alright.
glad you're okay.
Yeah,
That's all right. We've mostly been setting things up for the plan, so.
Okay, yeah. And I just woke up like a couple minutes ago when my dad came up to check on me.
The shit has not gone down, so we're okay.
Okay, cool. Again,
It's preparing for it. It is the next morning. You, Hanzo, and Winifred turned the guy over to the cops after he basically spilled his guts about everything. The next morning, don't know where you went. Everyone kind of slept over at the diner or Connor at the preserve, but it's the next morning. Carlos is gathering up Connor, Itzel, and Texas, the bait.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, Tommy probably went back to his den and then ended up.
Because it's not far from Carlos's place.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
It's like in the steward train next door.
That's why you have the diner marked as your official address.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Felix in the back seat kind of looks at you, Carlos. You can't really see him staring at you from the back seat, just like he can't say anything, so he's just having to listen and accept this as he's, a stubborn biker trying to accept that things have gone a lot weirder than he thought.
Yeah. So.
And Etzel's just kind of nodding along, like, okay, yeah.
So pretty much what you're gonna do, Texas, I was told not to use this phrasing because it would make you upset. But you're kind of the bait.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But we're gonna have Itzel, and we're going to have Tommy, and we're going to have Annie, and there's gonna be a whole crew of people that will be able to physically tackle the thing. So you should not be getting hurt at any point in time. And once we're there, we might talk about untying your feet at the very least, as long as you don't start bolting. Because if you start bolting and running away, into the desert to escape, and if Akasha gets you, well, you're fucked. So, in terms of biker gang sense, pretend the Kasha is a rival gang, and there's a certain point where you can't, dodge this gang for enough. You have to face them head on. We're at the head on moment. We got a plan, and it's gonna work. Just work along with us, and then you can go back to your bike, and then I'm not even gonna call the cops on you. Because I think that would get us in more trouble than anything else. Tommy, is that you in the trunk?
It is!
No,
I was sleeping here.
About people.
You just had a whole conversation about how being in the trunk here would kill you.
Tommy's built different.
Tommy is built different. You beat me to it.
He's not built different. He's built strongest.
He's built
Exactly.
He's Australian. That's the answer. He's Australian. That's the answer.
Constructed alternatively.
Built Australian.
Built incorrectly.
I just want to imagine that when Tommy did that, he sort of just bonked his head on the trunk.
And it's just damn it, Tommy!
I'm sleeping here.
And it's kind of looks at the back seat where separating her from the trunk. It's just is that crazy little hairy man?
Yes.
Yes.
Crazy little hairy man.
All right.
So, after the point where we deal with where we deal with this.
It's like a cat. You gotta check your car in the morning before you drive.
Hey, you gotta apologize. I thought it was empty. That's where we were gonna put Texas.
And they pop it open and it's just Tommy's sleeping peacefully. It's like, hey, turn off the light.
Like a fucking Jack in the Box.
Yeah, you guys get like a stick and poke.
So to put it in perspective,
Oh,
Carlos like left the diner at like 7:30. It's like 8:30.
yeah. Like
So-
I said, Tommy's built different, I guess.
Tommy's just built different.
I'll try to keep my tangents in this game minimal, but small real life story. There was one time, me and my roommate Rick, we were going to go pick up our friends for a night of hanging out, and my old car at the time had that thing where the back seat could lower down so you could get to the trunk from the back seat, and he's like, "Hey, pull over. I'm gonna go into the trunk." I'm like, "All right, sure." So he gets in the truck and we go pick up the first friend, and he's like, "Oh, where's Rick?" I'm like, "Oh, picking him up later. He had something to do at home." He's like, "All right, fine." So we go driving around, and then every once in a while, I just hear this thump from the back, and he's just like, "What is that?" It's like, "I don't know. I think I hit a bump." And he's just like, "All right." And then we pick up another friend, and they get in the back seat, and then it's just like as we're going, we just keep hearing this thump from the back. And like, what was that? It's like, nothing. And it's just like a bumpy road. It's like, no, that was something. And they just started to get a little. It's like, what the fuck? And then Rick starts going, "Help! Let me out of here!" And I'm like, "Justin, do you have someone in your trunk?" And I go, "No, of course not." And then we stop, and they're like. They pull down the seat themselves, and Rich just pops his head in. He's like, "Oh, hey guys."
Jesus Christ.
It was at night in the middle of like fall or winter, so it wasn't, it was survivable. I wouldn't say yes to my friend going in the trunk in the middle of summer. Like, no, you jackass.
Mm-hmm.
A reasonable prank.
Indeed. A question for you, Ciro.
Hmm.
Did your friend Rick turn into a ranger?
He hated that kind of joke. I also hated being called Ricky, because apparently that was his nickname as a kid.
Oof.
Anyways.
Never forget Ranger Rick.
Don't forget.
So
So we pull up. We pull up
yeah,
to the
you pull up to
diner.
the diner.
Carlos puts it in park and go, "I'll be right back." I step into the diner. I'm assuming everyone's awake at this point, getting food.
Possibly.
Hanzo, yeah?
Hmm.
You're there too?
Yep. Munching.
Oh, Carlos,
Hi.
when you walked in, you saw Hanzo's car sitting there, and the little light inside is blinking from his car phone.
Hey, two things. One, Hanzo, your car phone's working. Two, I got the guy, and I would really like to keep my establishment in one piece. So let's speed this up.
He leaves his half-eaten food on the table and goes out to check the car.
As they're going out, Carlos will be like, "Oh, by the way, I got Texas in the back seat. He's hogtied."
Yeah, because Carlos kind of parked close to your car. You could just look over, and Itzel just waves from the back seat, and like you lean over, and yep, sure enough, there's a guy hogtied and just like scrunched up to make room, because Itzel's a big woman. She's like, "Move over, nerd." But so yeah, you go into your car. You have the light saying you've got a message waiting, and it's a message from only like a few minutes ago. But hold on, motorcycle.
Yes, we know your dick is big.
I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know that guy. I didn't
Yeah.
know he had a massive schlong.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I regret my decision.
It was a good brick joke.
Yeah.
So, Hanzo, you have a message from Detective Bentley going, "So, Hanzo, now that I've had at least a few hours on some coffee, we've got Dr. Porter booked. He's in holding as, a witness and suspect for the shootings. Uh, Already got someone from, corporate side of Pluripotent saying they want to be more heavily involved. Or, so, or, well, they not talking to him. So he goes, so, I'd like to meet up with you soon if possible. I'm at the office. Just give me a call when you're ready. Got something weird to talk about with Epiphany. And just, it kind of goes a little quiet. He goes, and just your employer in general.
Message ends.
Yeah.
One thing at a time. He gets back to the diner. Goes back inside. Is like, well, better to nip this in the bud now.
What?
Hmm?
The Kasha.
What'd you say? I'm still like
Better to nip this in the bud now.
Are we ready? I'm assuming she told you guys about the whole kid's soul is still attached while we were waiting.
Right.
Is there anything we can do about that? She's looking at
I was
Carlos.
planning to pay a visit to the kid's parents. Anyways.
I have a shot that I'm going to take. I cannot promise anything.
That's not, super encouraging.
What do you need?
Ideally, things we can't get. Practically, I have what I need. What would make it more fun? What would make it more fun? Peyote.
Break up?
Excuse me?
What?
Peyote.
Like Carlos does the best of a "Are you really surprised?" look to Olivia.
No, I'm not judging you. I'm
just like,
I don't see how that's helpful to our current situation.
I was just wondering what the hell that noise was. That was out of character.
Yeah, it sounded like a Barbie talking.
who's looking
What?
up?
Malibu Stacy is here with us.
Oh no!
Who summoned the spirit of Malibu Stacy? William.
I would not summon a prep.
Uh-huh.
Even if she would step on you?
I would not summon a prep.
Goth or nothing.
I know what I'm about.
Even if they were blonde?
PT fair.
Okay.
So,
Carrying on.
yeah, back to the game. Winifred,
Mm-hmm.
I need you to do a weird check. Because this is more about... It's kind of more of a recall thing. You were the one most up close and personal with the Kasha the most.
Okay. So just a straight up weird check.
Yes.
Alright. That's an 8.
Okay. Oh, it's still a partial recollection. There's something that's bugging you as you start thinking about going back to your encounters with the Kasha, at the bar, at the casino, and I can't remember if there were other times you've encountered it. but it was different when you basically fought it at the bar and when you first arrived at the casino, because you being the vampire, you are basically blood. You can tell when there is spilled blood, kind of shark in the water. But when you fought the only blood you smelled at the bar was the blood of your friends being injured or other people being injured, like when Fred got tossed through the window. Um, the
Like the
But when you
badass.
arrived at the casino, you could smell there was the blood of Tommy and Connor both or Carlos. Damn it, Tommy and Carlos both getting shot, and there was also a trace of old like it was weird. It smelled like blood that was fresh but like on the edge of becoming rancid when you arrived. But when you grappled with the kasha itself, it's like you didn't catch that smell.
Okay.
But you recall seeing you, Tommy, and Carlos. The three of you did see the specter, or at least the form of Soda there, but when you went in, it was the Kasha itself. But there's just something weird about that. You're just like, why would I smell blood there, but not the other places?
Oh.
Something's bugging you about that.
Oh my god! All right.
She's gonna be sitting there and making a puzzled face, and she's going to turn and look at probably Carlos. And she goes, "Hey, there's something that's been bothering me."
Yeah, what's up?
So when we first saw that thing, didn't really like catch any smell from it, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we went into the boat, and we saw the two different forms of the thing,
Yeah.
I smelled rancid blood. Would that be something to keep in mind?
Oh?
Would it mean anything to you?
Let me see. At the very least, it'll be a good indicator of, hey, something's happening. Like it's coming.
I didn't smell it the first time. And I did after we saw the, it taking the form of the kid.
That is... Could I roll... Could I roll weird to see if I have any recall of this?
Sorry, to recall what? Texted me.
So, Annie gave Carlos the information that she had about the blood. I am trying to recall if I saw anything in the last 2 nights of me being a nerd and reading a book.
Sure.
Okay, let me do a dice roll. Hello, nice.
I'm trying to think if that would be a weird or like a sharp. I think it might be a sharp because you're trying to recall something. All right, well, I'll ask the other keeper. What would you do, TT? Would you use weird or like a investigate kind of check?
I feel like investigate.
So then that would be a 9. I got
Okay,
a 7 on the
so
dice.
And investigate. That's still a hold of 1. So yeah, so you get to 1 question. So and you're trying to think if that has any bearing on anything you read. Yeah, you would probably think that a lot of things that manifest, you like. Actually, I'll say because of that, and with the clue Winifred just gave you, and you actually encountering and being the one to ring the bell to basically discorporate the Kasha in the casino.
Mhm.
Usually things need a physical anchor, and you are fairly certain that while there is still a glint or like an ember, like just a lingering ember within the cactus, and that's what Connor and burnt himself on. And but that cactus is empty. Where is the Kasha maintaining itself? And then you remember his body has not been found.
Holy shit!
You like thinking back to the
Fuck.
cactus itself. What Hanzo and Olivia and Connor said when they investigated it, he stumbled there with the gunshot wound, fell bleeding on the cactus like his hand scraped across it, and then the evidence points to he stood back up and walked back into the desert and then back towards the city. This is what they learned, what actually Hanzo learned the first time he was there, because he saw the tracks going back towards the city. But when you remember dealing with the Kasha at the bar, it was fighting the manifestations of the cats. While at the same time, there was the reports of Soda being seen at the scene of where the other biker was killed in Little Japan. And then when Fred and
He can be in two places.
Tommy were dealing with the cat during the car chase, the sand when it was struck by the fucking semi truck. And then you in the casino, the skeleton that Winifred was grappling with turned to sand when it was broken by the bell.
Holy fuck! It's in the kid.
Yep. It can puppet the dead.
It is puppeting the dead. So if we want to save him, we have to literally evict him from his body. How the fuck do we call a dead kid to a place? I know how we call a dead kid to a place. Oh, that's going to hurt.
Did he yank the soul?
If I was awake, I'd say you'd use the Ice Cream Man song.
You should be. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning, bud.
I was told I was asleep and gone earlier.
Oh no!
I'll be honest.
You're probably feeling a little. We'll
I
say that you
don't
got
fully
some
know if I'm here or not. Anyways, I would use the Ice Cream Man song. You know that little song that the ice cream trucks play when the kids are like, "Oh, the Ice Cream Man," but then it's like 5 blocks away, and you wait for him to come to your house. He never fucking does.
Hanzo, you remember Soda is 23.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I make no comment upon that.
So the cactus that used to hold him is gone, which means there needs to be a new host. So the Kasha is literally using his body.
Yes.
As the fucking thing. But everything that we've been fighting as the Kasha isn't necessarily the true Kasha. It's a projection of the fiery rage. That's how that we fought the Kasha at the bar, and then somebody died in Little Tokyo. Because he was in Little Tokyo, and he sent out the Kasha's manifestation there.
So what we need to do is find his real body.
Yes. And that would help with the processes. Or we call him out.
What does that entail?
So do you remember when I talked to the wonderful big lizardy fella Thundar, my beloved?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could go back into that kind of a mental state and call him out. It might work.
And do you need some kind of artifact belonging to him?
It would help. It would probably help if you have it, but I could just mass broadcast to everything that's got a hint of mumbo jumbo.
A bad idea?
Oh yeah, but we're kind of it's either that or track a walking corpse.
I feel like you'd call fucking Rawhide. No, you are locked.
Rawide's down in the depths.
as far as you know. But
Hey, what about Rawhide?
We're not gonna call out Rawhide if I just I'm not calling Rawhide's name. I'm not
it's Rawhead.
Rawhead.
Get him up.
Rawhead Bloody
Get him
Bones.
up. Get
I'm
him
just
up.
saying, smash cut to a Starbucks across the street where he's just ordering coffee like a normal fucking person.
Look, it's not like he's gonna waltz into the diner and be like, "Hey, it's me. I'm not actually dead."
Tommy looks towards the door.
The bell dings as someone walks in. It's just the twins walk in, and they go and wave at their mom, and they go and take a booth and sit down. Looks like they're doing some homework.
Yeah,
I think it's like the weekend, so it's just like they're doing the weekend homework.
Yeah.
But yeah, the timing, they did ding right when Tommy looked.
So we either have to locate a dead body that's walking around, or I could call him out with bait. Oh, right, Olivia. I don't know if you're out. I'm assuming you recently walked over into this conversation. I had brought Itzel and Texas with me. They're in the jalopy.
Good.
Don't look.
So how are you going to make sure that the real one comes and not a projection?
Like I said, I can find something of his. I intended to go visit his parents.
Getting an item emotionally charged connected to somebody would make magic on them easier, would it not?
Yes. It would. So if we could go get one of those real quick, that would be great. But I'm not leaving one of the guys who's targeted by a fiery Hellcat in the front of my diner any longer. We need to. So I'm gonna go out near the old cabin where the heart monster bullshit was. I'm gonna get set up.
Very well. I will visit the Soda family.
Take somebody with you so you're not going alone. Otherwise, it's creepy. I would go with you, but I need to set up things and yeah. I vote Olivia. Hey, Olivia, you're good with people.
What? I'm not good with people.
But it's too late. Carlos is getting in the jalopy.
I'm not going. He thinks he just nominated me for it, but I'm not going.
Okay, I would have been back sooner, but the kitten kept attacking my leg as I was trying to get back in my room. Like, no, Kitty, no. I want to play, but I've got responsibilities right now.
You cannot cross the threshold.
You must play
He,
the
wrapped
play
his arms
tax.
around my ankles, and I was just so worried he was just gonna chomp down because he's been doing that lately. Like, release me, beast.
Beast.
Please, beast.
But I heard there is a splitting up happening.
The loathsome kitten!
Hanzo wants to go and talk to the kid's family to see if he can, glean anything there. And
Pick up an item of power.
we shouldn't let him go by himself, so we're figuring out who's going with him.
Yeah, honestly, who would be the best one to go with Hanzo?
Who wouldn't upset a grieving family?
Yeah, Tommy's
Olivia.
out.
Yeah, I don't know what his family's like, so I'm just gonna pass.
I like to think I wouldn't be bad at upsetting a grieving family.
Yeah, Fred works.
What are you doing with that, Brett?
His milk
Yeah.
toast enough.
Yeah, Fred's a sweet guy.
What am I telling
I
this
didn't
grieving
mean that as an
family?
insult.
You're just going
You're
with
just
Hanzo
there
to make
to-
sure he's not alone.
Alright,
You're
seems
providing-
easy enough.
Well, I'm not a character, so I can't say this.
So if I see the grieving family, I'm like, hey, me and Hanzo, we're just here. Don't worry about it.
Hanzo, I think, is going to do most of the talking, but you're there to make the process smoother because you're a cool guy. And she's
Heck
not.
yeah!
She is not like making up bullshit. She means that.
Heck yeah, I'll do it.
In this house, we respect Fred.
Now I'm wondering if maybe me making the villains of this arc, the bikers, might be a little self-conscious as the guy rumbles down the street again.
Subconscious strike against the fucker.
You're
It
subconscious.
didn't occur to me until just now, hearing the guy rumble by, and just like, oh.
It's a goddamn biker.
Yeah, basically, your subconscious
out.
planted the idea in your head of biker
Mhm.
villain.
We're coming for you, Tex.
Watch out! 3 weeks or 3 arcs later, it's going to be the HOA.
No!
And
Do not bring that evil here.
We get to destroy that evil, Callie.
I don't want it
So-
though.
Hanzo and Fred.
Go ahead, Rawhead Bloody Bones. Destroy the HOA. Make the people happy.
So, also, yeah, Connor, you did hear a little whisper when you were this conversation was going on.
He heard. He's intentionally not commenting on it.
And okay, so Carlos, you're heading out into the desert.
I am heading out in the desert with Itzel and Texas and everybody else who's not going to a funeral.
Yeah, I'm going with yeah. I think most of us are going besides Hanzo and
Mhm. Yeah.
Because it's going to take time to set up a ritual to do this.
Okay.
What should I do then? Thanks. Just so helpful.
What?
I don't know.
Didn't hear you.
Who's gonna?
Who's asking the gang?
What's,
what should I do then?
I don't know.
Oh, you could just come with everyone else. You only
Yeah.
need 2 people to go.
Yeah,
talk
I
to.
got a full vehicle, so I need somebody to take Annie with them because I already have Tommy in the trunk.
Why is Tommy in your
Yeah,
trunk?
probably Olivia. Your truck is probably going to be the vehicle out of everyone's that would handle driving to the cabin the best.
That's good.
Okay, so I went to go get Connor, Itzel, and Texas, right?
All right.
And then on the way back from the preserve, Tommy was in my trunk.
So Tommy.
I don't
It's
know
a
where
small place to sleep.
Tommy. I literally made bunks for everybody last night. You could have had one.
Man, when I was in
I was
high
busy.
school, I had a friend named Kurt who always hid in the trunks to scare us. He'd pop out of the back seat because it could collapse down and give us all a good scare. Oh, man. Oh, that rear end accident. Oh.
Oh,
Jesus Christ! Fucking hell!
it's like, oh no, he was perfectly fine, but having someone rear end and your trunk pop open and someone being in the trunk already—that's not good look.
The fact that we had a bunch of tomato soup cans in there really didn't help things either.
Tomato soup?
Okay.
Oh.
Anyway,
tomato
most
soup.
of his joints are metal now, but he seems to be getting along just fine.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no.
The bionic man.
Anyways, the metal joints are completely unrelated to the car accident.
This conversation
like-
in places.
Like Granny Scorpion shoes.
You bet, Granny Scorpion shoes. I was just gonna say that.
Oh my
Um,
fucking god.
So everyone but Hanzo and Tommy are going out into the desert with Itzel
You mean-
and... Did I
You
say
mean-
Tommy?
Yeah,
Yes.
you.
Whoops. Hanzo and Fred. Hanzo and Fred are going out to speak with the Karanas.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And then everyone else is going to go set up the ritual space, prepare the trap.
Yeah.
Okay. And break.
Do.
So, meaning like a commercial break. I was meaning like the football huddle, like, and break. Anyways, it's what I get for bringing a sports reference to a bunch of nerds, even though I'm a nerd and I don't know why I made a sports reference.
If you did
Anyways,
that, though.
I know. So we'll go with Fred and Hanzo.
Hope you like Japanese pop, because that's what he plays in his fucking car.
He actually does. It reminds him of his kid.
No.
You were trying to make a joke, but it was him, Fred.
Oh, that's endearing.
So, Hanzo, what's the plan?
I'm just playing it by ear, I suppose.
Okay, that's my specialty.
Go Goldine.
So, what is it that you do again?
Security.
Ah, I'm a security guard too.
Yes. Remember, that's in fact how we met. I don't think you remember me too much.
No, I gotta be honest. We haven't interacted that much during this whole team up.
It was before we started spending time together. You were doing a late night shift. And,
oh yeah. Okay, now that's ringing a bell.
Yeah, a single chupacabra had gotten loose.
Yeah, those little fuckers. Huh. Ah.
And I was trying not to freak you out at the time that there was a predator on the prowl.
Yep. Yeah, that's ringing a bell. So you like the work? You like security work?
That's what I'm good at.
Huh. So, do you know about that Japanimation?
Yes.
Yeah, one of my kids really into that stuff.
That's so.
Yep.
Well, maybe when this is over, I can locate some for you.
Oh, that'd be swell. Oh man, they get a kick out of that.
Yeah. Well,
You got any
heading to
family,
the right
Hanzo?
place for it. Not really, no.
No.
Definitely not in the States.
Yeah, it can be kind of isolating out here, huh?
Yep. One of the perks.
He sort of reacts to you calling it a perk, and considers digging deeper into that. But in a rare moment of clarity for Fred, decides it might be more tactful not to.
So, it wouldn't take too long to get to where the Karatas live. They live not far from Little Japan, and you got the address, and the details when learning about the, since they're brothers and their address, their addresses. So, going up to it, you see that it's a smaller house. It looks like it's been in better states of repair, but it's not like destitute or anything. It's just a little dinged up, and You actually do see like a few, like a car, not like 2 or 3 cars parked in front of it, and it seems that there is like maybe people visiting it, possibly to give support.
Looks like the place.
All right, solemn face. Let's go.
Walking up to the front door.
Don't
Just
be
a
suspicious.
just a very wouldn't be too early in the day by now, right?
No, it's closer to like 11. So yeah, it's not like still AM, but not. It's like late AM.
Yeah.
So it's not.
Don't want them to be rolling out of bed for just some dude in a suit at the front door.
Yeah. So you knock, and it takes a few minutes, but eventually the door kind of cracks open a bit. And it's on that chain lock, so it doesn't open. It only opens a few inches, and you see, looks to be like actually like a older teen girl,
Mm-hmm.
like younger than the Saburo was, the younger of the brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, can we help you?"
Hello, I'm Agent Hanzo.
I'm Fred Klutzman.
We just came to offer our condolences and support.
Yeah. You know, it's a harrowing time
And
for everyone, I think.
she kind of, it looks like she's been, not crying at the moment, but her eyes have
Puffy
that
eyes.
puffiness of, yeah, that someone that has been crying. And she nods. She goes, "Thank you. Did you know my cousins?"
Not personally, no. I saw them around town maybe once or twice. But I am working in some official capacity to bring some justice.
Also,
Good.
just felt, important to pay some respects.
May we come inside?
Yeah, just a second. Let me go. I go talk to my aunt. And she closes the door and steps away. And I actually need to step away. Someone is calling me. So bear with me just a second.
Hey, we got in.
Mm-hmm.
Boys.
Hmm.
Just thinking of skeletons with mafia guns.
Boys.
Okay.
Not zero chance of that happening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she steps away. Door closes, and a few minutes pass by. And then eventually the door opens. You hear the chain lock clatter, and then it opens up and you see a woman, not old, middle aged, but she's, obviously looks like she's in grieving. She's wearing all black. Her eyes are definitely that same like puffy post cry look, and she's just like, so, my niece said you're here to give condolences for my sons.
Yes.
And she kind of nods and steps aside and opens the door. And it seems that it's like stepping inside. It looks to be like something of a wake going on, or it's not really like many people there, but it looks more like people are just there to keep her company. As you see some other what seems to be family members or maybe friends just in the living room area. And she kind of turns around and goes, "So you're," she goes, "you're investigating the happened to them?"
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of looks at where everyone's just kind of staring, and she goes, "Easier if we talk over here." And she goes to like a side room and opens it up and steps inside, and you realize that this was probably one of the guys' room.
Mm-hmm.
And she closes it, and he goes, what can you tell me?"
Well, the case is not yet resolved, but rest assured, I have been putting every amount of effort into resolving this. So, that's partially why I came here, in fact. It's, could you tell me about them?
And she looks around the room, and she goes, "Well, they were my sons. They were everything I had after their father passed." And she, like, as she starts thinking about her sons, she starts tearing up, and she's like, "I mean, I've already told the cops. I don't know why they would be at that, why the drugs were there, but my boys, they were good kids. I don't know why they would be there and why someone would kill them. And she you hear
Hey,
this like guilt in her voice, and she's like, times have always been tight, but I didn't."
hey. And Paul puts a hand consolingly on her shoulder. Of course, they were good kids, but even good kids sometimes they get into something they shouldn't, you know?
And they were trying to do it for noble reasons.
Sometimes they get an idea in their head and we love them, but the idea is a real bad one. Doesn't mean anything about the kid. It just means they're human like everyone else. And you love them all the same. And what happened to your kids, that shouldn't have happened.
And by this point, tears are like openly flowing, but she's nodding, and she goes, she just kind of seems at a loss for words for a moment, but she's nodding.
You don't
And she
blame
goes,
yourself. You don't blame yourself. You're doing all you can. You've done all you can. And I'm sure they knew you loved them. We gotta make sure what happened to them doesn't happen to any other kids. Anything you can tell us is helpful.
And she goes, she kind of like looks around the room, and you realize it's probably Soda's room. There's like a book on the lettered desk. You know, early 20s. The room is, while neat, there's still like clutter and spaces. Like the desk is just kind of a mess, and there's a library, like a you see a book that's rented from the library, but it's like a chemistry book, and she kind of like puts her hand on it. And she goes, "Soda was always Jesus Christ, Shady."
I'm sorry, it popped in.
He was Jesus Christ
my eyes just
himself?
glanced over it, and I'm like, "No, jeez. Okay, we're not gonna bring that into this." God, that I Am Jesus game.
What?
Anyways, we'll have to show you that afterwards, Shady. It isn't an experience.
Okay.
You could say it's a religious experience.
Oh no.
You could, but why would you?
Anyways, getting mellowing out again. Sorry, it's kind of hard to get back into character after thinking of that fucking game.
Grieving Japanese mother.
Yes, she says, "Oh, by the way, she introduced herself. I realized I completely forgot. She introduced herself as Haruka. But she goes, Soda was always the leader between the two of them. Wherever he went, Saburo followed. Soda, I guess he always figured since their dad was gone that he had to become, step up and take care of everyone. He was always working extra jobs and trying to save up for college, and he did attend a few courses at the local community college, and but had to drop out, or take a break while we saved up for more. But I thought they were doing okay. I thought things were fine. Like, they had friends. Soda was happy that he had finally found a girl. She was nice. I'm sorry for her too and her family.
Yes.
But she goes, I mean, it's. And she kind of like looks over, and there's like some posters on the wall, and there's actually, you see what looks to be like one poster where it's just like, Fred and Hanzo, you'd probably recognize it, not recognize it exactly, but see that it's like, oh, this looks like it's actually imported from Japan because it's all in Japanese, and you see like you see like a few of the more common and famous of the yokai, like you see a Kappa and like a Nikomata and some other like the hopping umbrella and some of the other object spirits, and it's just like she goes, it's sad that when he was a child, him and Saburo were just so into our history and the mysticism, and then when their dad died, Soda thought he had to become serious and get with the real world. And that's when he became more focused on science, because he said that with the superorganism here, it's the greatest thing of science.
I see. I was curious what his passions were besides trying to support the family.
And she kind of chuckles and she goes, Soda was always the serious one. Saburo was, well, he followed his example. He was always the more playful one. And when he wasn't following his brother around, he was down at the arcade. Honestly, I didn't have to worry where he was because I knew he was either one of those two places.
He nods.
She's like wiping away the tears that are just like freely coming. and she's trying to put on a brave face.
Thank you. Thank you for.
I was just sitting here quietly.
I gotta stay tabbed away.
Callie.
It's a good one though. Okay. Oh, sorry. Hanzo, continue.
I appreciate your time.
Of course, I don't know if any of that will help. It's just, like I said, I didn't know any of this was going on. They were just, I don't know, maybe they were trying to protect me from it. They didn't want me to know they were such a risk, or maybe they didn't think it was a risk. She kind of just shrugs.
They're at that age when they want their secrets, you know? And we do gotta respect that, even if sometimes it means that they make choices that, frankly, not good.
Yes.
There's kind of like a soft little bitter laugh, and she goes, yes. But she wipes away the tears, and she goes, so please do whatever you can to find some kind of justice for them. I don't even care that the people are punished. It's just stop them.
We're gonna do everything we can to make sure this doesn't happen again.
Yes.
You remember, you did right by your boys. Can't protect them from everything. We do what we can.
She nods and kind of silently stands up, and well, she stands up. She goes, well, thank you. I think I need to be with my family now. And she goes and opens the door and gonna guide you back outside. Not impolitely, but it's just like,
Yeah.
Before we leave, could I go through some of those books? It's on yokai. It's frankly been a long time.
she kind of, as she pauses when you were leaving the room and you asked that. She goes, oh, yeah, I could tell by your accent you come from Japan too. It's been years since I was back home, but sure.
I relocated more recently, but still feels like I should get back in touch with my roots.
And she nods and she kind of like looks around his room again, and she goes, I think I might plan a trip back go visit some family back there. I don't think I can be around Redemption right now.
I understand.
So, yeah, there's a bookshelf, some books. Like near the bottom, there's some of the older books that looks like maybe from when he was a kid, a little bit of a layer of dust. But you find a book that's like, you've probably seen this book. It's like the English translation of a book you saw back home as a kid, where it's just like yokai for kids almost.
Mm-hmm.
Cage for Kasha.
And I'm gonna guess it's a very well loved book.
Yeah, and like the book, like it's like one of those books where it had the plastic sleeve, and while it's still intact, it's very bent around the edges, so it's very well worn. There's creases in some of the pages, stained from like a snack from ages ago.
Mm-hmm.
This, like, picking it up, you can tell this was a kid's favorite book at a time.
I'm sad now.
Sorry for the downer, but I mean, certain things happen.
Yep.
Oh no, the story has stakes. We can't sass our way out of this one, boys.
Shit.
I just tab back to the thing, and it's the thylacine followed by Jesus, so it's just like, wait, is the thylacine marsupial Jesus?
Yes.
He's coming
Yes.
back?
Yeah, it's the second coming.
But
So,
the dad came back.
Just
Anyway.
like how Jesus came back from the dead, so did the thylacine.
So, you think we got what we needed, Hanzo?
I think so.
Man, that poor lady. No parent should have to experience that.
Thank you for coming. Your insight as a fellow parent proved invaluable.
Oh, yeah, no problem, man.
Let's put this kid to rest.
Yep.
You both get into the car and start heading out towards the desert. Speaking of, using the jalopy and Olivia's truck, the group starts heading out into the desert. I should really make a map of the valley because it's getting harder to remember. It's like, oh yeah, this way is this way. But
It wouldn't hurt.
yeah, it's just. But then everything's solid, and I have to make. Like that's one of the things making
You
me
can sell
like,
bullshit stuff and then just make K remake it every couple of months.
it's one of the things making me nervous about the once you all leave Rondo Island and Brian and Ted, because it's like, shit, I need to make a world map. I've got a portion of it
Just
made. Like the
throw a
nearest
$5 bill at
island, so
K. It's like, now do it.
Just take a picture
I
of a cow's ass.
you know. I've
Well,
seen
you've
people
moved
do
from
that.
Rondo Island. Welcome to Skull Island.
But
That a
anyways,
monkey?
So, y'all head out to the desert, and there's a point where you do have to get out and walk, and excuse me, getting a little bit of hiccup. Itzel, when she gets out of the car, she actually pulls on her biker helmet that she brought with her, so she's just completely covered, and then she kind of reaches in and shoulders Texas, and she's just like, all right, come on, big guy. And using the vampire strength, similar to Winifred, to just haul this guy who looks more insulted to be manhandled this way than being tied up.
Olivia sees this. Like, you couldn't have just let him, like...
Okay.
No, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. I understand. He had stabbed somebody the other day. Hey, Tex.
Itzel stops, and like kind of turns so he's angled towards you.
Tex.
He has a gag.
Oh. She pulls out the gag.
Yeah, he's been bound and gagged. He's just like,
She pulls out the gag. Look,
yeah.
you've already tried to run away once and fucking stabbed somebody. Eyes flicker to Tex. To Itzel. If you try it again this time, you'll get torn to shreds, and then spend eternity in torment.
Listen, I've been given the elevator pitch many times now.
Okay.
I won't run.
Yeah, if you run, you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna get linebacker tackled by this beast again. He like kind of shifts, and then grunts as it's like bounces him on his shoulder, so she like shoulders him in the gut. It's just like, oh.
Olivia rolls her eyes. Yeah, because that was intelligent.
You get the feeling by this point this man's not very bright.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to have a filter.
I can tell he's
not
not
used to
very
dealing
bright.
with repercussions.
I
Actually, I think it's where he's not used to dealing with repercussions.
If I undo your binds, are you gonna fucking run and get fucking mauled and or tackled by the rest of us?
He goes, no, I'm not gonna run. And Itzel goes, yeah, and I'm not undoing his hands. I'll give him his legs back, but
Yeah,
just because I'm tired of carrying him around. But yeah,
that's fair. Yeah,
I'm not giving him his hands back.
I'm gonna give you your legs back. Tex.
She unceremoniously drops him on the hard dirt, but it's not enough to hurt him, and she's just like, all right, and she just kind of steps back and lets you undo his leg.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
Well,
I don't blame you. He did this shit to you. I don't blame you.
Yeah. And she's like, she nods and she goes, oh, I know. And
while they're doing this, can Connor subtly just remove his cataracts and fucking ear infection? Just the multitude of shit he's given this point.
as he's starts to try to push himself up to standing, with his arms are tied, so it's kind of an obstacle. But he's seems to get it. He seems surprised that he's suddenly blinking his eyes, as if it's suddenly brighter than it was a moment ago.
I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
The coma's cured. Yeah, he stands up. Yeah, it's all right, where to? And
look, man, look.
Hmm?
I'm sure you've got your backstory and everything, but you've since I've met you, you've caused inordinate amounts of trouble. But we're still going to save your life after this. What you do with that's up to you, man.
Listen, I'm fully on board with Listen, I'm fully on board by now. People are doing some weird shit, so I am on board. You don't have to convince me anymore.
Once this is over with, I suggest you rethink your life some.
I'm definitely gonna rethink, writing with Felix, that asshole.
I mean, if you, I hope so.
And Itzel just kind of snorts, and she goes, "That's the lesson you're taking from this."
Come on, man. There's plenty of places to start over here in town, or even elsewhere.
Look, you could preach all day long, but if the brick wall's not going to accept it, you may just have to let it go.
Yeah, if the brick wall continues to be a brick wall after this.
Listen, and he stops and turns around. He's like, "I don't know what you want from me.
I'm trying.
I'm saying I'm listening to you."
Yeah. Relax.
You just keep.
Give me Connor. Relax.
During that little.
During
this conversation, Hanzo was teaching Tommy how to do the reciting in Japanese.
Oh, Tom, he already knew the language.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, you started.
I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, Tommy knows Japanese. He's quite fluent.
Thanks, Australia.
That's fucking weird.
Well, that saves me.
It's just been we were waiting for Hanzo to start teaching him, because it's just it'd be funny. It's just oh, we gotta teach someone to speak Japanese, and Tommy hasn't spoken up, and it's oh yeah, I actually know Japanese.
I knew it the entire time.
Oh, that's useful.
If you want to give it a shot here in town, I'll help you.
So as the group
does he say anything to that?
He's not really. He does. It's not like he's ignoring you. He is listening, but he's just he actually doesn't know how to respond, because it's just he's I'll just give a little insight into his mind thoughts. He's just she expected me to renounce my life of crime right now?
Just break down into tears. I realized I was wrong.
The fucking scene in one of the Willows where Mr. Toad's
As the
crying on
cataracts were
his
cleared
knees.
from his eyes, he came to Jesus.
God damn it.
My eyes have been
Olivia
opened.
has the healing touch.
She's extending a hand. We'll see if it goes anywhere.
His hands are tight at the moment, like
God
quite
damn it,
literally,
Pharaoh.
metaphorically. As well.
I'm putting on my
so,
flameproof gear.
Hey,
Yep, so,
Connor may not be able to turn water to wine, but he can sure turn water into other things.
so
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
turn
man.
turn water
Moving
into the Gulf of Mexico water.
well,
Or Flint, Michigan.
oh my god.
That's fucked
Continue
up.
going. Oh god.
Jeez,
guys.
yeah, whoa.
It's fucked up, guys.
So,
Yeah.
I was just
as
gonna
you're
give him
marching through
syphilis.
the
Jesus.
desert,
hmm
marching through the desert, you get to the point where you're like, oh, there's where we torched the ravenous heart,
Oh.
because you find this area where it's just scorched ground and some burnt plants that had gotten caught in the blaze. But yeah, you pass by the evidence of your previous hunt.
Excellent.
Okay,
This
go.
is where I was
Jesus,
thinking of
like-
doing this.
This was only a week ago.
This is nice
Good
and
lord.
isolated.
hmm
And
It's only been a week since this.
yeah,
A little bit over a week.
weird.
and it's already burnt, so it's not likely to cause even more fires.
Kind of. It's like burned areas actually get reclaimed pretty fast as long as it's not like an acre long.
Yeah,
You
like
know.
it's. I mean, it's only been a week, and there hasn't been much rain, so it's still scorched. But yeah, it wouldn't
Fun
take
fact.
long for this to regrow.
Sorry
Monsters,
to
right.
make the diversion this time, but when we still lived on Fort Lewis, it's a long story, but a car in the front lawn caught on fire. No one got hurt. But it took about 4 years for the grass there to regrow.
What the fuck is in your soil?
Well, it's a car. It's whatever
Burning
stained it.
oil.
And after those
Burning
4 years, it
gasoline.
finally coughed up the car's license plate.
Oh my god.
Like, we finally found it out of the dirt.
My earliest memories was my grandparents moving into their house and being in the backyard as family were over as like a housewarming party. I was like really young, and all of a sudden there's just this boom, and everyone rushes out front, and there was a car down the street that just caught fire and exploded because it was stolen, and the people had stolen it set fire to it, but it exploded.
Oh my
Yeah.
I distinctly remember being in the backyard playing with my blue color palette mode of Grimlock, that one Grimlock toy from the early 90s. That was really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, in our case, it was, turns out that entire car thing had to be recalled because there was some faulty fuses or whatever that were causing spontaneous combustions.
No kidding.
Yeah, so I just remember being shaken awake at like 2 a.m. in the morning. It's like, don't go outside! I'm like, okay.
It's like, it's 2 a.m. I wasn't going up.
Wasn't really thinking about it.
But
So,
now that you said something,
I did look out the window to see a blaze. Went back to bed. Fortunately, we lived right next to several firefighters.
Yeah. So, yeah. Did you want to set up here or closer to the cabin? Because it is still a bit of a ways to the cabin and the underground lab, which you don't know if what's happened to it since, Puerpone rolled in to clear it out.
I mean, it can't hurt to check while we're here.
Say we can check once we've done the deed, per se.
I mean, if
Because
there's
I don't want to
something
be-
there that could cause issues now or later, we're right here.
Well, in that case, while most of us set up, you and someone to accompany you could check it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check it out. Anyone want to take a look with me, or? Because I'm one of the people getting their faces clawed in, so.
That is true. You don't really need me for setup, right?
No, I don't think so. And
Nope.
you've got muscle.
Okay, I'll come with.
Alright.
Okay. So it's a little bit of a hike to get there. If I remember right, it wasn't too far away because the Ravenous Heart was sort of sticking close to its nest, or its where it hatched from the lab.
Mm-hmm.
So to
Sticking
speak.
close to mommy.
Yeah, basically. And so you get there, and there is still like police tape, that yellow police tape across the doors of it. It doesn't look like anyone's been there, or if they have, they haven't gone through because the door still has the tape across it. Looks pretty cleaned out if you go inside.
Olivia goes up to like the tape and like breaks it. Like, oh no, I'm breaking the law.
And inside, it was fairly sparse when the above ground cabin, but now it's been like picked clean, so it's just like an empty shell. But you do see the hatch, the secret hatch, is just open. It's like no one bothered to close it. But you look down, it's completely dark. There's no lights on or anything down there. Kind of spooky looking. Not gonna lie.
I shine a flashlight down.
Okay. Do you go down?
Well, I just kind of shine a flashlight down, see if there's anything visibly off.
No movement or anything. Can't really tell from the angle you're at because there's not really much that was around the ladder down there, but you don't see anything. No movement, no blood splatters or anything. You just see the floor.
All right. Oh, good. Take a look. Just a quick, once
Winifred,
over.
you staying up or just? You probably like stepped inside to get out of the sun, huh? Even with your umbrella.
Yeah, I'm watching out the door and glancing back at Olivia every once in a while, and I see her going down the stairs. And I think she's gonna decide to stay up here and just make sure nothing goes down the stairs, but be close to the stairs in case she has to bolt down them.
Okay, so you head down there, Olivia, and shining the light around. Actually, like, you do see a light switch, and if you try it, a few of the lights do flicker on, and this place has been cleaned out.
Yeah,
you see some you see some broken glass around, maybe from one of the broken tubes, because there were a couple of specimen tubes, and especially the big one that the thing had broken out of initially. But yeah, it's just this place has been cleaned out as like pretty much everything that wasn't bolted down, and even then was ripped out of the ground and taken.
Figured as much, but better we know than we don't.
Okay. And
is there anything
back up
of note that we didn't already know down here?
Oh no, yeah, I pretty much discovered all the clues that I was down there that I could remember. But yeah, no, everything down there has been cleaned out. It's just someone's going to happen across this cabin while hiking one day and be really confused by this underground empty lab.
Olivia comes back up and is like, there's still power down there. We could probably use it for something.
It's like one of the random bunkers in Melody now.
Yeah, he
But,
comes up to Winifred. It's like, there's still power down there. I bet we could use that for something.
Possible place to bolt if we need to.
Yeah.
And Winifred, while you've been standing up there, it's like you can hear the wind blowing. It's like not really that windy of a day, but it picks up a little bit. And you tense, thinking it might be the same, but you don't hear any sound. It's just a breeze, kind of shifted. But with it, you kind of smell this. It's like, oh, something died nearby. Smells like like old, maybe road. It's not like not roadkill out here, but it smells like something old, like has been rotting in the sun for a few days. It's just like, oh, that's always a pleasant smell, especially with the vampire smell.
Also suspicious because of what she recalled that just last
Yeah, do
night.
I smell anything? When I come up, do I smell anything? Because that's extra suspicious if I don't.
I mean, it's very faint, and it's only because of the vampire smell, because it's not anywhere near here.
Fair
It
point.
smells like something desert, maybe died, and it's just like it's been cooking in the sun, and the wind just shifted enough that Winifred got that lovely whiff.
She's gonna tense and kind of like look at it, Olivia, and go, it might be nothing, but I smell rot. We should get back to the others now.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, it's not the rot that you smelled when thinking of Saburo. This is like you smelled this before, like animal left out in the sun kind of smell. Not like when I was saying Saburo, it's his smelled fresh, but on the verge of like blood that had been spilled recently, just about to turn rancid.
Oh, okay, well, she's still on edge.
This smells like something like straight up just died in the sun.
Yeah, she's still on edge about it, so she's gonna be antsy about getting back to the others before anything happens to them.
Okay. So, hurry back.
Hurry back.
Winifred, you realize that the smell is kind of not in the direct direction of where you came from. Otherwise you would have ran into it. But it's not. It's like you could have taken a loop and get back and like see what it was, but not too far. And now that you're back outside and getting a little bit closer, Olivia, now you can smell it. It smells like just how that kind of smelled before, since you've had to deal with roadkill and like picking up the javelina.
Yeah.
It just, I don't want to be too descriptive. It's a gross smell.
Is it odd that I would be smelling it out here?
Not really, no. It's just, sometimes when you're out in the wilderness, sometimes you'll smell an animal that died. Happens.
Is it? Would taking a slight detour on the way back get me to the source of it?
Yeah, probably.
Alright, I'm gonna.
It's like just like arcing a bit instead of taking a direct line.
Alright, I'm just gonna check it out. Winifred, don't worry, you don't need to get too close with your smell. But I'm curious.
She's looking at you with like the bitchiest look you've ever seen her give, which is incredible, but she's gonna follow you.
She looks at you like, I didn't think you could ever go that far, but you did. Good job.
Turned it up to 11.
Yeah. You don't gotta tell them. Just keep an eye on me.
We are
okay.
in the process of trying to contain a supernatural killing machine. Yes, I do.
I mean, you are, so having an unknown right nearby, I'd rather just, even if it's just a corpse, I'd rather take a look.
As you are walking, you hear something give this indignant squawk and this flurry of wings as you walk past these bush and startle a vulture that was eating what looks to be a coyote corpse. As you found the source of the smell, and it just flutters off, just indignant that you had it's not one of the condors, just seems to be like a standard buzzard or vulture.
Did it have to be another coyote? But it's just another. It's just another. It's just a coyote corpse.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that. It's not too weird to see coyotes out, in the desert. The buzzard was there having a meal.
Is there
Looks
a
like,
scene too?
I mean, without tearing it apart, no, not that you can see, but you do see
I
what
narrow
looks
my
like.
eyes at you.
You do see what looks to be like a wound, almost like a slash mark by where the neck is, by the ribs. I'll just, because it's fairly fresh on your mind, that wound looks kind of familiar. Like, maybe perhaps you were investigating a.
Keep going.
The feeling if you took a look at the way the wound seems to be pulling out, now that you take a closer look, and
it's a heart missing.
You would get that feeling.
Fuck.
So it's not.
Looking at this, looking at this, and Winifred, you would guess from the smell, this would possibly line up right around the time of the Ravenous Heart. So, this thing looks like a week. Like, this looks like probably died on that night, if you had a guess.
The heart is still out there? Are you fucking kidding me?
You did find it. I'm just saying, you did find it hunting in this area, so it's very possible this was one of its meals.
Yeah, Sarah's just implying you might have found some an old kill.
Right. For a second, I was like, oh god, another victim.
See, I thought you were implying.
Like, that's why I'm trying to say this is like something that's been left out for like a week in the sun, rotting.
It's weird that we've actually only passed a week of in-game time, but it's true. It's true.
See, I thought Sarah was implying there was big old slash marks, and my brain's just going. It's like, man, how fucking petty is Rawhead that he just walking through the desert and just decided to kick a fucking puppy.
Oh god.
Rawhead.
I mean, you would, but so yeah, no,
Okay,
you just
okay,
get like after that panic of thinking that maybe this is fresh. You and Winifred both realize that no, this is like probably one of the last things it ate, if you had a guess, especially how close it is to where the final battle was.
Poor thing.
Because you did, like, looking at the chain of hearts, you realized that it wasn't just human hearts that it was collecting. There were cattle and other animals.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so with that little gruesome discovery, you can head back to the group. While they've been gone, how are you setting this all up?
Okay, so we had talked previously about having really big fucking circles with runes and things around them. So we're getting that set up. The bell is being held by, I assume, Fred, because Fred said he was going to hold the bell.
If anyone else holds the bell at this point, I'm gonna be pissed.
So Fred is near the center of the largest circle. There's a smaller circle in the front where we have gently placed techs. We have some places set up for the chanters, and the defense squad is enjoying their assortment of defense tools in preparation.
All right, I would like a use magic to set up the ritual.
Just a regular?
Okay, so it will be a use magic, but you will have some bonuses because of, going through and like collecting stuff. So it would be, you would get an additional +1 for like spending time to refine it, and like doing it all the extra research and like getting collaborating with Hanzo and other stuff. So due to the prep, you get the extra +1. You get the extra +1 for using, as you realized from your research, Hell Scorched Earth aids when dealing with such things, and this you believe would qualify.
You're welcome.
And
I scorched this earth. I am hell.
so yeah, you would get an extra +2.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were going to use big magic or not. So.
Well, big magic is, if I remember right, it's not really like a roll. It's like rules for.
Yeah, it's a hey, you can do
the
a really
big magic is for, yeah.
A big
And
magic.
there's no specific role for making big magic work, but you might need to succeed on some other moves like use magic or act magic. Yeah, that's the thing. This is you using use magic as part of the big magic ritual to set it all up.
Okay.
So it's
Cool.
still just basically rolling plus weird plus the bonuses.
Essentially, big magic is complicated enough where it has multiple moves.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So it's the dice value plus my weird +1 +2?
No,
or just
weird +2, because it was the two bonuses.
Okay. 9 +3 +2 is 14.
Damn, that's definitely a success.
Yeah.
So you, without complication or really effort, you carve using your lime green chalk into the Hell Scorched Earth and whip it up, and you step back and you're like, huh, nice.
Excellent.
You got it all. Boop. You're pretty sure this will do the job. And
okay. So we got that set up. Hanzo, Tommy, you got your lines?
Nods.
Fred, you got the bell?
Yep. And he brandishes the bell firmly and perfectly as a born bell holder would.
Okay, so I told you were going to be the holder of the bell. That means you're going to be the ringer of a bell. Here's the
ringing
stick.
of the bell commands you. Got it.
Here's the ringing of the stick. The stick ringing for that.
Yep. I got
Awesome.
it. I am prepared for this.
I used lime green because it's easier to see on scorched exposed soil than white is. I got that. I just gotta wait for the other two to get back, and then we can begin.
I will have passed the book to you.
Oh, this is a good addition. Nice.
It used to be a favorite.
Yeah, that worked. This will work. There's a sense when the magic comes around of it really loves ironies. So this works great.
And like when you open up Hanzo, you kind of missed it because it was sort of hidden in the inside of the sleeve that like covered it. But there is like a little inscription in Japanese, or like a little note written in Japanese. A handwritten one. So Hanzo, when Carlos shows it to you, I don't know if Carlos reads Japanese, but it says, "My son, remember to always look for the mystical in the everyday," and it's signed by his father. Apparently, this was a gift to him.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, this will work perfect. Awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of emotional charge in that.
Perfect. And this is the kind of thing that you use in these kinds of situations. Though there are the occasional once in a blue moon where if you bring something that's that dear to a person, sometimes it just shows up without you starting shit. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
You say, and you just look to your left. He's just standing there, squared up already.
Well, I was just gonna say we are probably. This is actually a very good spot to pick up next time. We'll pick up with the ritual being enacted. Sound okay with everybody?
Yes, I have one last thing I would like to do. GM, I need you to tell me one thing. For this next encounter, is it going to be spicy or is it going to be somber?
Probably a bit of both.
Yeah. What do you mean by spicy?
Spicy or I have two options: a spicy and a somber.
The song choice.
Song-wise. You know what? We'll just have to decide for that next time. You can tell me what the song choices are, and I'll tell you which one would be a better fit. So if we want to, I was going to say if you wanted to keep them until the next time, but
I won't remember them.
Oh, okay. No, not bad. Those are some good choices.
A stinger.
What?
A stinger.
Sort of. So, Carlos, like you had said, sometimes things will kick off even without the ritual. Is you kind of you don't see Soda standing there ready to square up. You do realize that even that as you see Winifred and Olivia, rejoin the group, you realize that the breeze that has been actually fairly pleasant. It's a nice breeze, still hot, but it helped with the hike. Starting to get a little more intense, and you start realizing that there is the sky is going a little dimmer as you realize that a dust storm is brewing on the horizon and rapidly approaching. And we will pick up next time.